Hello and welcome everyone to another fantastic episode of Exploding Dice. This music is far too tinkly and not dark for me. So let's put on something else. Let's put on something a little bit like that. Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for another fantastic Sunday here on the Exploding Dice channel. Thank you guys for tuning in to episode 2 of the Writhing Moon, our open legend horror campaign. I hope you guys are going to have a good time. Hopefully we have a great show in store for you. But before we dive into all that, before we go through our announcements and everything and then get started, I want to say hi to our players. So let's go around and say hello. How is it going, everyone? Are you guys ready to you guys ready to have a good time?
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
I was born ready.
By good time, you mean die painfully.
Well,
that's only when we sleep.
Yes, I mean it's good for someone. So why don't you go? Why don't we go around real quick and have everyone tell us a little bit about you and who you will be playing today, and we'll start with Mr. Speedy. Hello, my friend.
Hello. My name is Speedy, from the channel Not So Speedruns, and my character is Felix Haskell. He's a priest from the White Church with a dark and troubled past. Seems to have some issues going on in his head with in regards to an obsession with blood and with pain. And so that comes into play quite a bit as we're focused in this blood dark campaign.
Awesome. And next to him, we have my good friend Din Money. How's it going, man?
What up? Good to be here. It's me, Din Money. I'm a digital artist and game developer. I'm going to be playing Ulrich the White, and he is I don't even know, almost like a priestly bounty hunter sent by the Vatican to investigate the going on in this damn city. Too many terrible rumors. He's going to bring the Lord's justice, true justice.
All right. And next to him, we have Mr. 4.
That's me. Fully, it is on the forefront, but I think 4 is less of a mouthful. I play Gurney Abel. He is a cartographer with an infatuation with the city of Palemoor and everything that lurks underneath. He also has a very disgusting hole in his stomach, a fistula, if you will. He's kind of trying to keep that covered up. Everybody's kind of grossed out by it. You know, it's kind of scabby. You know, he doesn't clean it out.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. And last but never least, we have Laz all the way on the end. How's it going, man?
yes sir, not bad. Good to be here for week 2. I'm Laz Green from Subsoil. I'm gonna be playing Dr. Calibus, who is pretty much best described as half Herbert West, half Walter White. I got some good surmise of him. He's rocks with a cane, peddles his wares of chemicals that he uses and experiments on himself with, and trying to figure out the rest of the shit with the rest of y'all.
Awesome. And of course, my name is Asker, and I'm your host and dungeon master here, and I will be taking you on this journey into the unknown. So before we get into the story, just a couple quick announcements. If this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. You can, if you haven't already, please hit that follow button, join us, and you will get all kinds of updates about when we go live. We have put together a grand old week of Dungeons and Dragons and role-playing game content for you. I actually just posted the schedule, our weekly schedule, so if you haven't seen it, that's on Twitter. Go check that out. It starts, obviously, well, if you start on the weekend, it starts with Writhing Moon here, with all of these awesome people, and then it continues tomorrow, except not actually tomorrow, because tomorrow's the Super Bowl, so no one's gonna be here. But normally on Sundays we have Jade Regent, a fun and funny campaign set in the Pathfinder world of Golarion. Then we have Mondays is Map Monday with Askren, where we make D&D battle maps in Photoshop with you guys. Tuesday is the Fuzzy Dice Talk Show. This week I'll be hanging out with Mr. Mathis Games, an awesome YouTuber and dungeon master in his own right, where you can kind of hang out and ask live questions and just have a good time. Wednesday, I tend to do drawing streams late at night, and then Thursday and Friday are my days off. And then we start all over again. So it's a full week of stuff. Definitely come check out all the shows. Hit that follow button. Watch us on Twitter for all that information. We have a giveaway going on right now. I don't know what the command is for it. I have to check. Oh, the command is just ! giveaway. Look at that. Not caps lock. Giveaway. If you hit that button, Dice Thulu will tell you that we are having our monthly giveaway. We're giving away a brand new D&D 5th edition player's handbook and set of dice. So all you have to do is follow that link that is in the chat, and you can enter, and you can possibly be one of the great winners. We're gonna have a lot of giveaways coming up, so stay tuned to that. Okay, there was one other thing, but I don't remember what it was, so I think we will cover it at the end. So, rather than continue rambling, nope, I did remember what. You guys will be hearing quite a bit of interesting ambient noise, sound effects, and music, both in and out of combat. And if you're wondering where those awesome tunes come from, well, those are provided by our excellent friends over at Sirenscape. They help support our show. They are excellent. Their sounds are top-notch, and they make your games come to life. I can attest to that, so check them out if you haven't already. They're really, really cool people. Okay, so let's sort of dive right in. Let's turn this music down a little bit, and let's turn the tension up.
Not again.
I'm waiting for it to start. Alright. Alright. So as
light in my eyes as large as I can as the music starts to...
give me 1 second. So as we kind of recap, if you guys were here last week, we sort of started a bit in the middle of the action. Things were a little bit disjointed, possibly a little unclear, and we are going to we're going to hopefully clear up some of those details. So we began with everyone in the group sort of walking through this strange, twisted mimicry of the city that they know, the city of Palemoor. This was apparently not Palemoor, as they all... Whoa, shit, sorry. Almost fucked with cameras for a second. This was not Palemoor, but they all came to an intersection where they found a woman crying. She was covered in blood, and she looked like she had been through some sort of terrible ordeal. There was this cold gray mist rolling in around you, and as a kind of faint baby's cry could be heard somewhere, the mist seemed to grab the woman and brutally murder her right in front of you. You guys fled from the mist, only to be caught by it. And out of the mist came a man dressed in horrible yellow rags, flapping in the breeze and kind of draped almost like liquid off of his form, as he brutally and without mercy murdered each and every one of you in turn. But this was not the end, as it seems this only served to wake you up from the dream that you have been languishing in for who knows how long. Because as we arrive, it seems that you all had in fact been asleep in a clinic, having had some sort of blood ministration performed on you, either knowing or unknowing. When you awoke, you found the city that you know has fallen into ruin and into chaos. You have seen sort of the transformation of the city, but it seems in the time you have been asleep, it has decayed even further as the blood, the medium provided by the White Church to heal wounds and combat sickness became tainted, and the people who were administered with it turned into feral, blood-starved beasts, roaming the streets, harming innocents, and just making the city unsafe. And so there, every so often, when the night was too much to bear, when the beasts became overwhelming, the citizens took to the street and began to hunt. The Night Watch and the Torchbearers both set to purge this taint from the city. You guys wandered out on the middle of one such night, a full moon in the sky, the bells tolling signal the beginning of the watch. And as that happened, you sought safety, you sought refuge. As you made your way into central Palemoor, you came across a man who was in the process of being burned at the stake by citizens armed with torches and crude weapons, they themselves seeming to be somewhere in the midst of the transformation into one of these beasts. You rescued the man, you fled into the sewer system where he told you could seek refuge, and in the sewer system you found some safety. You met a wizened old woman who was able to answer some questions and provide some more of her own, seeming to tell you that she seemed to tell you that you had been, and you seemed to bear the scent of one of the First Watch, an old band of hunters that the church commissioned long time ago. Amongst you are people that have various beliefs and various allegiances, some to the church, some to the academy, where knowledge and understanding is paramount, but all seem to take refuge in this shelter. And as you went to sleep, you found yourself awakening in a strange cemetery garden. Not a place familiar to you. There you met an old man who called himself Callum, and he said that he was the keeper of the waking dream. He did not tell you much, but you know that somehow you have experienced or been tied to something a little bit beyond your kin, as he asked a very simple question: how do you know when you're waking and when you're dreaming? And then he sent you back to the world. For those of you who are just joining us, the world of Palemoor is an interesting one. It is different than you may understand or you may expect. In this city, the blood of things called angels or the godlike was used to treat the illnesses and the ails of the city, of the population, but the blood itself became tainted, and its very use was controversial, causing splits and factions to form within the city itself. Allegiances rose and fell, the rich, the poor, parts of the city burned, others flourished, and among all of them, people began to descend into madness and beasthood. And that is where we find ourselves today. You guys are waking up after having just experienced the waking dream. You find yourself sort of sitting, your eyes open in your beds, a cold sweat dripping from your face. As you look around frantically, you still seem to be in the chamber, the sewer chamber that you were in. You can sort of hear muttered voices just off in the distance. It sounds like the people here they're not sort of nearby. They seem to be kind of talking amongst themselves.
What the hell just happened again?
I start slapping my face just to make sure.
I start pulling on my neck strap.
snap
start
open the
slapping
vial.
Felix's face. Are you? You're awake, right?
Yes. I'm awake. Okay.
Great. Yeah.
Does anyone need a pick me up?
I need food more than anything.
Suit yourselves.
Are the people the people who were here before? Are they still around? What do you think they saw anything?
No, they're. I think this is just us. I think we're the weird ones here. So.
I agree.
Something's
Speak
not
for
right still.
yourselves.
Well, listen.
Aye.
Let's
It's
see
not
if there's any breakfast. Is it breakfast time? How long have we been out? I don't know how long these nights last anymore.
Can I
We
hear
should
what
go talk to
those
the others.
other people are saying? Yeah, can we let's try to eavesdrop first. If they think we're still sleeping,
Do you wanna
probably
attempt to
tell
do
the truth.
do you wanna attempt to do that from where you are or from the
Well,
do you wanna
both. I'd start now, and if I couldn't quite hear, then I'd try to get closer.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Can only move so fast with this leg.
Poor guy.
Yeah. Could be worse. Could be both of them.
I just had to open the Open Legend site.
Always helpful.
Yeah, that's probably what I
I
want.
should do that too.
Shout out to Hero Muster for their well-made free site.
Okay, that's what I wanted. Okay. So
Is
yes.
Ulrich in armor actually?
Nah, I can't really wear armor since I'm barbarian, and then I can go into rage.
Yeah, I was about to say it would be pretty uncomfortable if you slept in your armor.
Okay.
So
Uh,
you're more
Holy barbarian.
No, Uther's more like a church zealot then. He's like Ray gets like all jacked on the church, right?
Yeah,
Alright.
exactly.
So you kind of listen in and you kind of strain a little bit. You can definitely catch a note of uneasiness. It seems like the group they're like a room away, but they seem to be kind of talking amongst themselves. You can hear the words. You can hear kind of the word shelter and too long and danger.
I think we're wearing out our welcome here. Maybe it's in our best interest to get out of this area.
Aye.
They think
Yeah,
we're
this
in,
place-
although, do you think maybe we should figure out why they think we're in danger?
I think it's best just to go. We do not care really.
We're just strangers here. It's nothing unusual.
Yeah,
Don't
it's
trust to go
daylight.
around these days.
Yeah, I'd say we should just move as quick as possible. I'd rather not be caught out like last night. That wasn't the most pleasant thing.
I
That
agree.
was intense.
Aye. Let's make haste while we have the light.
All right.
In
We
that
attempt
case,
the surface.
let's just do the very basic pleasantries, and then we'll be on our way. Farewells and stuff. I'm sure somebody wants to talk to that.
Perhaps we should.
old lady.
Yes, perhaps we should just send somebody for that. I'm no good with goodbyes.
Auric, you know these church
Oh.
people. You say goodbye.
I'll give him a goodbye, all right.
Mm.
Do not.
Sinners. They're
Felix,
all
maybe
sinners.
it's best that you do it.
Yes, maybe. Yeah. Well, not me.
So what's the plan?
Let's just go then.
Yeah, we're going to head. We're gonna go over to the. What was it? It was the clinic, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that you
Yeah.
came
Oh,
the
no,
one that
we
you
came
came
from
from?
Not the one we came
We
from.
came from
I wish I had wrote it down, but it's not in my notes. She told us that we could go to like the church district or something like that.
Oh yeah. So you specifically asked you had asked her about the blood ministration that had been performed on you, and whether there was anything strange about it. And she had told you that if you were looking for blood or any specific type, that the source would be the White Church in the Cathedral Ward. So,
All right, so we're gonna go to the Cathedral Ward.
okay.
Gurney is like going over his notes that he's written down, and he says we're going to find out as much as we can. Maybe they have some records of where this blood, came from. It seems like it was a big deal. This stuff we now have.
The biggest
And if
deal.
they don't know, then we'll figure it out after we do that. But honestly, Cathedral Ward, #1 priority.
Agree.
Agreed.
Yeah, does anybody here have any, like, he sort of, like, looks at Ulrich and Felix and is like, families, lovers, pets.
They're all dead.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ulrich.
No
Felix?
attachments, if that's what you're asking, but I do have a few congregants who followed me in the Cathedral District.
What about you, Doctor? Are you married?
No, with a face like this, no. I have customers. I mean patients. That's it.
Okay. None that you're too attached to, because otherwise we're not making a stop here. We're going all the way.
It's a boring profession as is. It's touch and go. We might as well throw caution to the wind.
Okay, well, one sec. I gotta say bye to the old lady. And Gurney just tries to find the old lady again and is like, "We're leaving."
You kind of
Thanks.
you kind of approach the sort of the doorway to the other room, and you see that there are a couple people that are huddled around the mother, and there is the man that you met last time. He's kind of like he looks like he's kind of trying to lift a crate and kind of push it, and he says, "Oh, you're awake."
Yes. Well, we're awake.
Oh, are
I
you
was just
well?
sleeping last night.
You were out for many hours.
Really?
How
mean,
many?
Well, I'm very old.
I don't know exactly. He says we were supposed to. We had a watch, a candle. And when it burned out, we were supposed to leave and try and find some shelter, but there was a bit of a problem when we went to the surface.
A problem?
Yes.
What kind of problem?
He says, "Well, you were leaving. I suppose you might want to see." And he'll kind of gesture out of the chamber that you're in, and you kind of he kind of points over to down the drain, and you can see that the drain kind of turns around a corner, and just sort of around the turn there seems to be like a ladder going up to like another storm drain. He just says, "Up there."
Ulrich, you're somebody will probably run away if they see your face first. You go first.
All right. So I climb up or go around the corner or whatever, climb up the ladder, and I'll
Okay. As you peer up, the first thing you
My God.
the first thing you expect is to be looking out onto sort of a bright city street, but the thing that catches your eye is sort of that bright yellow full moon just over your head.
The damn moon again.
The moon?
What is it?
Looks like there's that big full yellow moon up there.
It's still nighttime.
Well, is it still dark?
Yes.
It's daytime. Is it still?
Nope.
Apparently it is dark.
How long were we asleep for? Did the sun rise and set already?
Hours.
He says,
He
"No."
said a few hours. They probably just lost track of time down here. You know, they're scared. They're scared out of their wits. We probably only slept like 2 hours, I bet.
What time is it specifically, boy?
He says, I don't know. He kind of like points over to one of the crates, and you can see there were a bunch of candles and lanterns that were kind of set up to give the room illumination. Most of them have like burned completely down.
So, are you telling me that the sun never rose? That the full moon, it still stays?
He says, the night hasn't ended.
My God.
Are you sure? I mean, you don't exactly seem to be the most accurate, just meticulous of people down here. Perhaps you're mistaken.
He kind of shakes his head. He says, I wouldn't have believed it myself, but, and he just kind of like leans against the wall. He says, they're still out there. The moon's still in the sky. I don't know what to tell you.
You have no idea what could have caused this.
How could I have any idea?
I turn to the mother, or I walk up to her and I say, is this related? How is this all connected? The blood, the moon.
She says, many things are connected by strings that we never see. How? I don't know. I am but a simple church woman.
Indeed.
She says, but shelter is what you seek, I think. There is a chapel. It is abandoned, but if you can make it to Reardon Chapel, then perhaps you can find safety.
Why?
Is that the Cathedral Ward?
Yes, it will be.
What makes that one so safe? Why there?
Indeed. I'm going to say that a lot.
She says, it is a strong building, and there is incense there to ward off the beasts.
And you church people have big doors. We could probably bar that. Big door. That's good.
Incense to ward off the beast. There's.
You would know that that's sort of a thing. Part superstition, part part actual kind of chemical composition, but there does seem to be some actual like useful effect in this kind of specific type of incense that the church developed after the plague started taking over.
I have to get my hands on some of that to figure out how it works.
Well, if it's a defendable position, yes, we move them.
Perhaps I can figure out how to replicate it, then bring some back here to the sewers. Help these people down here defend from these creatures.
Well, no,
She says, if you find a lantern burning red, that will signal someone who is still alive and warding the beasts with incense.
Okay, red lanterns.
I had one of these places of my own, a stronghold, but perhaps at this point I can't imagine it was not nearly as strong. It might be best to abandon and head there.
Yes, we shall find shelter at the church. Defendable position.
You guys, just as a question, you guys never told her about your first dream, correct?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Gurney asks again, that was Reardon Chapel?
Reardon.
Reardon. Well,
Right
excellent.
down.
So you know nothing of this yellow moon, old hag.
She says, you again. It's not the moon is. A yellow moon is not an uncommon thing. Like it happens every so often. A kind of a big, like a full moon that is. It looks slightly bigger and it is kind of very yellow tinged. Sometimes called a harvest moon. It's just it's not a particularly.
It's just that it should be gone.
Yeah, no. I'm saying like the moon itself is not. It doesn't seem necessarily out of place, as far as you can tell.
Well then, sorry for calling you old hag.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I was just making sure you and I were on the same page. I don't take offense.
Ulrich hangs his head in shame. All right, well, I don't think we have anything else.
All right, stay out of trouble.
The man, like the man who's nearby, he says, will you be making your way to somewhere safe?
Yes, the mother directed us.
Widening between Felix and Ulrich, like, are we responsible for these people?
They seem like they can handle themselves, or it's a safe spot here. Yes.
I mean, we all should be responsible for each other.
We're heading towards a church called Reardon. If we make it, we will hang a red lantern from the chapel and signal that it is safe for you to come.
He says, how long should I wait before venturing out?
I don't know if... With any luck, the sun could rise in hours, but if not, then... Who knows? Whenever you feel safe or unsafe enough to leave.
Maybe we'll try to get a message back. Somehow. You know what? I can get a message back here somehow.
Oh.
Pretty sure I can do that.
If we see red lanterns on the way, should we have survivors come back here, or will you not be staying?
He says, you can send them if you think they'll make it, or would it not be safer to take them with you?
I guess so. We'll see.
We're unsure of this location. It's the mother's word, but we cannot really say if nothing is already inside.
Only God knows.
I can definitely get a message back here, so just be on alert for that. And then once you see that, it'll tell you whether it's safe or not.
Good man.
So at least they did provide us shelter.
All right, cartographer, you know this city inside and out and under. Do you know the way?
I'm sure. I'm not a fan of going through, the dank sewers, but I'll admit I've spent some time down here. Yeah, Will I have to make a roll of some sort?
So you could either attempt to navigate. The sewers might get you most of the way. The Cathedral District does cross a bridge, so it's unlikely that the sewers will connect there directly. But you could navigate most of the way under the sewers, or you could attempt. Otherwise, you can just sort of take the streets through central Palemoor.
I think here's the problem. We can go underground as far as we can till we reach this bridge that connects us to the Cathedral Ward. After that, we gotta go topside.
Yeah. All right, that's the best we can do. I can lead us within the Cathedral District.
All right. Well, everybody behind me, I guess. Actually, no. Well, Rick, you go in front of me just in case.
Very well. Just tell me left or right when the time comes.
Okay. And I do so.
Left.
Starting here. Okay. Go out of the door. Turn right.
How many paces?
Thank you again, Mother, for all of your help. We will be going.
Yes.
She says, no, okay. She'll kind of she'll just before you leave, she'll take the hand of Felix, and she'll say, "One day you will find that your sight betrays you. It is with the ears that we listen for the silent chorus." And then she just her hand just slips off of yours.
I will keep my ears open as best I can. Thank you. And I go.
Okay.
Can I have a retro? I mean, this isn't anything that big of a deal, but can I retroactively have done this? And just like as a thank you to them, made like a little garden for him. Showed because it says it only takes an hour. I could do like enough.
Okay. What do you want to try and do?
Basically, it says I can create simple non-sentient matter. So I want to just make some like plants and stuff for him and some water and show him how to like a rudimentary little like clean food and water kit.
You're giving them a house plant.
Right. Well, it's but it's
leave
also
you in
something they
peace.
can learn to do and feed.
I mean, you can kind of there's not a ton to work with here. There's a lot of kind of like grime and sludge from the sewer, but from that you can actually sort of grow some solid sort of edible, like large kind of edible mushrooms and things like that. You can kind of make
Good
them
fertilizer.
spring out of the
Right.
wall.
That'll make him stay for a while.
Right. Well, I just showed us a little
Okay.
something, that's teach them how to be resourceful in this trying time we live in.
That
I
is
hope
fine.
those are the right kind of mushroom.
Yeah.
I have those.
There's a few ways that could go.
Yeah. Whoa, that red lantern looks cool.
Brother!
All right. So you guys, how did you guys want to proceed? You wanted to take the sewers, or you wanted to take a different way?
Yeah, I say we take the sewers as long as we
As far as we
can.
can.
Yeah.
I'm gonna know eventually when we reach the bridge. And then we'll go topside at the closest entrance.
I'm down for that.
Sorry, say that again.
We're gonna go through the sewers towards the Cathedral Ward,
Okay.
and then we're topside at the nearest entrance.
I gotcha.
And then to the bridge that leads to it.
All right. So you guys begin to sort of navigating, and as you're kind of trudging through the dark kind of sewer, like reeking sewer, it's slick with mold and slime. As you make your way down the tunnels and you pass, tunnel, twist, turn, reservoir. Eventually, you're like as you're kind of going towards the center of the city, things get considerably more clogged and more, less navigable. But as you're making your way there, you see. You see that there are actually quite a bit, like there are kind of mounds of this sort of reeking kind of black matter that is just like in piles around here. You can see bones and things that have like bits of things that have been chewed on by with large kind of scrape marks in them. You can see all kinds of signs of things that have moved in and around here.
Ugh, how foul.
Well,
The,
things
go
have changed down here. Yeah.
You know from where you are that you're functionally you should be very close to sort of the sort of like the central plaza of Old Palemoor, which was like a large market plaza. Here, let me open my actual map myself. Yeah, you know that the plaza sort of has a main kind of artery in the form of a road that leads to the bridge itself. That's basically where the gate, the main city gate, kind of went to, and then from there, actually, it led up sort of to the palace, which is a decent distance away. But I mean, you should be somewhere near there. And you're kind of in this very large chamber. You can see it looks like it must have been a reservoir at some point, but it has since been emptied because you were basically standing at like the bottom of it.
Okay, so this is a place where we can go up, right?
You could you could if you wanted to find a way to get to the street here, or you could kind of continue on if you think it's worthwhile. As you're doing so, you actually no, never mind, that's a different thing. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm a little nervous now. We should be right below the center of this central Palemoor, the marketplace. We could go up there, or we could keep going this way. I'm not saying that's a bad idea, but this is new. And he points at the pile. And he's like, "This is very new. I'm not so comfortable with it."
The center of town, it's sure to be overrun. We can't go back up there. Could we go around underground? Is there another way?
Well, look, these sewer things aren't very well maintained nowadays, so I can't say whether or not it's better or not. I certainly can get you there, but we don't know if things are going upside or underside right now. Because if you haven't noticed, the moon is kind of wonky right now.
You know that from where you are, you can take the larger path, or you could lead them around through a much more narrow path. It's blocked by a few gates that you'd have to navigate through, but it's not as open.
Listen, we can get really tight, or we can have a lot of room to move. A lot of these
sword doesn't fit in tight spaces very well.
I'm just saying, the tight ones might be a lot nicer to get through. Just a few gates, but I just don't want to run into anything in a big open space, because we don't know where these things congregate.
Bigger things need bigger spaces. Monsters. Did anybody
I say we
take a peep at the
I can at least
surface?
navigate us around those.
Okay. You know this. You know the way better than any. I trust you.
I've spent a better part of a year down here. It's unpleasant to say the least. I just want to get out of here as fast as we can. So, Ulrich, first again. Go for it. Go on.
If I must. God, this place is filthy. Why did I wear white gloves?
Felix, stay in the back and let the doctor and me in the middle.
Okay, I'll take the rear.
And we're gonna go through the narrow paths.
Okay. As you are making your way, as you kind of turn down a chamber and make your way down this kind of circular tunnel, you're splashing through sort of like shin-deep muck and water as you hear your kind of voices echoing off this tunnel. As you're going, you kind of see like bits of kind of chewed bones and smaller things, bits of garbage that have been dragged down here, and you actually hear as you're approaching a turn. According to you, Gurney, you're thinking, you're saying there should be a large gate, it's like a grating, but it has a gate in it, and you know it's a maintenance thing that you have to get through, and then after that there's kind of a straight shot, and then there's some more stuff. But as you're kind of approaching the turn where you know it's gonna be, you hear a loud
I grab
coming from up
Ulrich's
the tunnel.
coat.
What in God's name? Alright, yeah, perception. Let's all roll perception. Just look that way.
What do you you can, I mean, you could all hear this thing if you wanted to try and, like, you're pretty sure whatever's making this noise is just around the corner at the tunnel.
I'm gonna toss if I have light here, so I'm gonna toss, like, throw these two little bottles together, and when the chemicals mix together they glow like a flare, and I toss it.
You want to toss it down the tunnel?
Yeah, to see if I can see what
Okay.
this thing is.
As you you take these corks and you kind of have them so they sort of have like little little locking tops. So you and then shake it up and throw it, and as it kind of begins to glow, you watch it sail down the tunnel, bouncing off the wall, and then with a ting, and then kind of tumbling down, and just as it arcs through the air, you see it the light sort of shine over the form of something large, covered in hair and bulbous scabs, slavering fangs and glowing yellow eyes, before just the vial drops into the water with a little bit of a splash, and the tunnel goes dark again.
And is there a gate between us? Did you say between us and that thing?
It should be just down that tunnel. Well, you weren't really paying enough. The thing that caught your attention probably distracted you a little bit.
Gurney waits a moment and see if the light made the whatever this is get all attacky.
There is, as soon as the light kind of splashes in, there's another loud and then you hear a kind of scraping sound. Who's up front? Would it be Ulrich? All right, Ulrich. You kind of just have a second to see this large shape is coming charging down the tunnel at you.
Okay, I'd
Get
like
ready,
to.
boys.
Okay, Gurney grabs Ulrich's coat, I guess, and sort of unbuttons his shirt so he can get his stomach hole out. I want to cast a Bane.
Mm-hmm.
Can I make a necrotic barrier?
Sorry, what's up?
I'm gonna make a necrotic barrier in front of us.
Okay. Sorry, hold on. I gotta turn the weapon impacts down.
Barrier. Let's see. Hindering. Yeah, I think I'll just do damaging 1.
Okay.
So
do you have
I
it?
think I have to invoke it.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get to my Open Legends site. Where are we? Boons. Okay, which one are you invoking?
I'm invoking barrier, but I'm using entropy.
Barrier. Okay. Which does what?
Barrier creates basically it's just going to be a fog in front of us, and I choose a specific area of effect, and I'm thinking I'm going to choose damage 1d4. So I think every turn that this thing spends is going to take a damage inside this fog.
Okay. So you have kind of a chance to do that. The creature itself is going to what's it called? Let me hold on. Is going to
It
make.
only takes the damage when it ends its turn within the barrier, or when it enters it.
Yeah, it's gonna make it's making a charging attack. You wanted to put the barrier. Did you want to put it in front of where Uther is?
Yeah.
Ulrich. All right.
Want me to go ahead and roll it?
Yeah, go ahead and do that first, and then we will do the attack, and then we will roll some initiative. Okay, that's good enough for me.
Could have been better.
A 4 is not going to beat its. I'm assuming that's against its toughness.
He's still coming.
He's just shivering. He's going over and over and over.
And this thing is going to make a might attack. So 1d20 plus 1 to no, 2. This is versus versus your guard, Ulrich.
Mine's 17.
It's a 20.
Oh.
So this thing, you just kind of put your, as this thing is rushing at you, you just kind of put your sword up, and it takes the brunt of the impact, but this thing does manage to, like, as its jaws snap around it, it does manage to kind of scrape a little bit against your forearm with its teeth as it's going, like, trying to get past the sword. And as that is happening, and as it gets into combat for, no, fucking, I don't want to update, we're going to roll some initiative.
Yeah.
Nice.
I did it.
Alright. So, Felix, you get a 15.
Oh gosh, where is initiative?
Speed.
Yo.
Let's turn up the...
I'm on a roll tonight.
Hmm.
Good roll.
Alright. So, who got what?
I got 19.
Ulrich got 19. Doctor...
Caliber 17.
17. And... Gurney...
5.
5. Alright.
The initiative
Not
rolls
bad,
off
good.
of your agility, right?
Yeah.
Mine should actually, because my, oh wait, hold on, what's that? I'll add that alt this thing, I don't know if it uses it for everything.
Oh, shit. And the rat is gonna get a 40.
Jesus Christ.
Rat.
Holy.
That's no rat.
Where are we in New York City?
It's just like filing down my sword.
Alright, so, as we
Conjure
do...
cheese.
As we
Yeah, I
do
think
this...
my initiative has an extra D10 to it though, because it's supposed to go off of logic instead of agility.
That's fine.
Feet.
Yeah, just roll it and add it.
Yeah, so there's another 2.
Son of a bitch.
So that brings you to 19. That's tied with
Yeah.
Ulrich. All right,
Yeah, but it's probably got a better
that's fine.
agility.
It doesn't really matter. Okay, so this rat. Now, bear in mind, this thing is as this thing is right up next to you. This thing is easily like the size of probably like a small horse. Like it is big. It is a giant thing, and it is it's probably like this high off the ground. And he is holding this back with his sword now as it is snapping at him. The rat is going to continue to make another bite attack. So this is the bite attack against Ulrich, trying to push against his sword. It's going to try and like chomp through it for a 13, which is not going to break
Yes.
your guard. However, it is you do kind of you are, this is going to be against your resolve, I guess.
Okay.
There, it kind of yeah, we'll do this. As that. 1. The rat, as it kind of like, as it bites and as it kind of shakes, you see all this filth and dander and nastiness is kind of flying off of it. It is going to, we're gonna make an attack to see if you are going to like be kind of consumed by this, succumb to like a fit of coughing and disgust.
This thing just doesn't quit.
No, it looks like you managed to kind of like shield yourself as this stuff washes over you. It is, yeah, it is nasty. That is going to be its turn. I think it's still in the barrier, correct? The fog?
Technically, yeah. Was I able to invoke it? So it's still there, I guess, right?
Yeah, you were able to do that just as the thing was attacking.
Okay, good.
So-
and every time it ends its turn, it does 1d4, I think.
Okay, damage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Want me to go
Okay.
ahead and roll it?
Yeah, go ahead and roll it for me. What's going on,
Yeah.
First Plane? How you doing, man? Alright, 3 damage to this giant rat as it kind of screeches in pain. Let me add that. Okay, cool. And as Ulrich is still just holding this thing back with his giant blade, It is Ulrich. What do you want to do?
All right, I want to go into rage mode, which will be God, give me strength. And you see him. I start to see it like younger and like stronger and not slouching as much. Focus sword of judgment. Gotta roll advantage on this. You can. So I kind of just pivot him off and then go for a big thrust since we're in the tunnels.
Yeah, you just kind of like shove him backwards, and as you bring your blade almost with two hands, just right down into this thing as you cut into like right above its head, kind of sliding into its kind of fatty shoulder. As you wrench your blade in, that is going to do a large chunk of damage to this thing as it kind of is sent kind of screeching. It kind of staggers back a couple steps, kind of its claws scraping against the filth in the stone and splashing in the water, but it's still up. Anything else you want to do?
Yeah, I think that's pretty good for me, unless I can get in like a defensive posture to kind of block him in case he tries to rush at anybody else.
Yeah, I'll say you could kind of it won't provide complete cover, but you can sort of put your sword out, so if it wants to run past you, it kind of has to maybe
stay in that, keep him in that little zone of fog.
Yeah, you can attempt to do that.
Necrotic fog.
Okay.
You cast a barrier with your sword.
Yeah.
It's less a barrier and more just he can
Physical
sort of
barrier.
take an attack or something if it runs by. Okay, that means next up is the doctor. You see Ulrich is kind of like grappling with this thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, then what I'm gonna do is
Doctor, give him a
at
taste of his own medicine.
I says, yes. And I'm gonna do a knockdown. I'm gonna try to basically he pulls out like a little blowgun and tries to shoot a little dart at one of the legs of the rats to try to like numb it so he can't move it.
Okay, go ahead and roll me the attack.
That's gonna be agility versus guard. I didn't actually put that in my character sheet yet, so I'm just gonna roll straight up agility. That's cool for now. Which would be logic in my case. Do I have advantage or anything for him being tied up with the other, or disadvantage for him being tied up with the...
Not really. He's still whipping around and moving. He's a fairly large target, so it's probably not hard to hit him to begin with.
Oh, that fur.
Ah, boo.
Unfortunately, a 10 is not enough to manage to stick him. As the dart will probably kind of like hit his flesh and just kind of like go spinning off into the like landing in the water somewhere.
Some kid's gonna pick that up, you know.
That's how I got started.
All right.
Well, yeah, I guess I'm just gonna kind of fumble through, look back through like my coat and my pouches and see what I can do next.
All right. That means Felix is up next.
Right. Having seen the blood of Ulrich being shed, having seen the blood spill, Felix is noticeably excited, disturbed in some way. He seems to start twitching, and just looking intently at the blood on Ulrich's arm and at the cut on the rat in the hallway. Is the hallway too thin for me to like pass by people, or
I'm gonna say no. It's not like a one-person corridor.
Okay, so I could run past. Okay.
Yeah.
Felix suddenly is overcome. You see his eyes glaze over at the sight of the blood. He sees the monster straight ahead. He enters a battle trance, and he.
How are you doing this without chemicals, everyone?
In the blink of an eye, he seems to dart forward, past everyone, past the rest of the crew, and reach out with his cat's paw, a torture device, sort of like a pitchfork with spiked claws at the end. Oops, I forgot to give advantage on that, but
I don't think he needed it.
A 21 will absolutely do it. As you kind of bring this pole over your head, and you kind of reach forward and you pull. Did you want to kind of push this thing back or pull it towards you?
Not really either. Mostly I just swing at it. I'm trying to scrape alongside and do as much damage as possible. If it's doing anything, it's pulling it towards me.
Okay.
But that's not really the intention. It's just a scrape to make it bleed.
All right. So you are going to do. All right. As this thing is kind of pushing backwards as it rears up for a bite, you kind of arc over with this pole, and as you do, you're coming down on this thing, and you actually kind of just cleave right across its face, just kind of like slashing through one part, like 3 kind of claw slices right through the side of its face, kind of destroying one of its eyes, and the thing kind of begins flailing its head, just snapping its jaws in pain, blood kind of splattering on the walls as this thing, it's whipping its tail, it's kind of scraping its claws, and it is looking nearly dead. It is looking like this thing is grievously injured as it kind of struggles to stay up.
Bleed, impure beast. Bleed.
Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, that's all.
All right, Gurney, what do you want to do?
Relish in it.
Gurney, what do you want to do?
I'm going to scream a little, and then I'm gonna do the nasty stomach ray blast.
Okay. A nat 1 is going to so as you kind of the wound kind of begins sort of scabbing over, you kind of arc out with this sort of ray of electricity, and as it's going to strike, it's gonna sort of strike not the creature, but actually sort of the back of Ulrich's sword, and because as it strikes, Ulrich, your sword is gonna kind of be blasted. Ulrich, you are gonna get shocked by this this ray.
Shocking.
And as it does, the sword is kind of blasted forward, and as it does, it sort of buries itself right in the wound that was just created on its face, as the black necrotic energy begins kind of creeping over, and it begins creeping down down the blade towards you, Ulrich, and also over this thing's face. And as you see the necrosis kind of creep over this thing's face, its skin sort of begins peeling back. You see its gums and its teeth, followed by its the red muscle underneath, as the bloodied eye socket just begins to kind of hollow out and blacken as the creature kind of begins gasping as the necrosis hits its throat. Ulrich, your sword is all this black sort of energy is also creeping down your sword. It's almost like a kind of a creeping tar or something.
Ugh. If it's possible, I just want to pull it out before it's too late. Otherwise, I'll have to just let go of it.
You kind of wrench your blade out, and as you do, there's kind of a sizzling sound, and you watch as the rat itself kind of convulses and dies. Its face being eaten away by this necrotic blast, and also Ulrich, as you're holding your blade out away from you, it begins to kind of sizzle as the entire sort of top third of the blade is scarred and pitted.
Shit, I'll clean it off in gross sewer water.
It looks like this thing was just dunked in a bath of acid, the metal has been physically corroded.
Oh, fuck. You owe me a new one.
Gertie just goes, I'm sorry! Ah!
Maybe
God will bill you. JK, God teaches us forgiveness.
Don't.
And I'll forgive you one day.
Okay, thank you. Don't touch it. Don't try to wipe it off. Don't. Seriously, don't.
Is it still creeping up? Oh shit.
It's mostly like once you kind of wrenched it out from sort of the source, it begins sort of
growing.
sizzling and it mostly sort of dissipated.
Okay, great.
I'm gonna have to study that more and better circumstances.
This is gonna be
I
hell
just-
to get that sharp again.
I listen to the sewers. Are there any more?
You definitely hear some echoing noises coming from different directions, but you see none of them seem to be immediately around you, as the sound of your battle has definitely roused other things. You can actually see just ahead of you, just past where the rat was apparently nesting, is the gate that you expected. It is kind of
Let's get a
rusted
move
and
on.
corroded, but it seems to be intact.
Gurney leaps ahead of all of you. By the way, Felix, you're kind of in the cloud that Gurney created, but it's not like you're not breathing it in. It's not going in your nostrils when you inhale, and it just sort of like it kind of like flows back into his chest as he runs past all of you, and he runs forward and just like tries to jiggle the gate open. He's like, "Come on!"
While this is happening, I'm still standing over the body of the rat. I'm just looking over it. My eyes are still glazed over, and I have not moved.
My character will leave turn back into an old man. My sword. No. Well,
I told you guys that the sewers might be kind of, inhabited now. So, the gate, come on, come on. And he tries to open the gate.
It appears there's more to you all than meets the eye, old man.
The gate itself is sort of it's rudimentary. Like there's a rudimentary lock on it, but you can easily kind of like wrench it off. It is rusted and corroded well enough that it can easily be sort of bent. And you push your way through. You begin sort of trudging through the sewers beyond. You can hear more kind of echoing noises. You're not sure if they're following you or if they're coming from up ahead, but it seems like the path, for the most part, seems to be clear in this small section, as it appears that whatever creatures inhabited these central sewers probably weren't able to get past those gates. And you are able to... you guys, if you'd like to, I mean, you will come up to kind of another metal kind of rung ladder leading up to the surface if you'd like to exit.
First floor, please.
We would like to exit.
Yeah, might as well.
All right. You
me out.
you quickly you quickly scamper up the ladder and push your way out of kind of the storm drain onto the cobblestone street, stepping out into the night once again. You find that you are actually not far from where you expected to be. You can see ahead of you is the street is sort of like is lined with buildings and fairly like wide open roads, cobblestones, and they're lined. This is the first time you've really been on the streets in this part of town. You can see most of the buildings have like coffins or caskets that have been leaned up against the walls or are just kind of piled in the street themselves. Some of them seem to be closed with rope or heavy chains. Others are, some of them are more ornate. You can see stacks of uncarved headstones, and some actually carved that have been used to block doorways or have been just sort of leaned against the walls. There is a cart, like a horse wagon, that has just been kind of left in the middle of the street. And you can see sort of the looming archway off in the distance. That's not the bridge itself, but it's sort of the entrance to the road where the bridge is.
Okay, beyond that that's kind of like the border between this like area
The
Church
archway.
District.
The archway, would lead you to there's a small courtyard beyond it, and then there's sort of this very large bridge that connects the Cathedral Ward to central Palemoor.
All right, let's. I say we be a little more stealthy about it up here. Maybe we should check out what's beyond that gate before we rush in it.
Yeah.
Sure, great. How was your sword?
You know what? Actually, let's.
I don't want to look.
Maybe I can be of a little assistance here. Let's. I'm gonna do. Do we have like a second here to wait for a second to kind of do this the right way?
Yeah, I'd say let's find a little corner we can kind of huddle up in and like kind of plan out our next move, just off the main street. I'll try to put the sewer cap back on quietly.
Yeah, just give me a moment to whip something up here. And you see me kind of like it takes shit out of my coat and start like fidgeting with it.
As we walk to the corner or wherever we're going, you notice Felix is still doesn't seem to be completely right. He seems to be shaking a bit. He hasn't said a word, and he's dragging his cat's paw along the ground behind him.
Right. A little scary, the sewers were, but good job, everybody. Ulrich, good being in front. Felix, thank you for jumping in there.
Yes, we made it out alive.
Hey, and Gurney sort of like taps your like forehead, like, "Hey, Felix."
What?
For God's sakes, quiet boy, keep it down. What's gone into you?
Yo, Felix.
The voice, the blood.
Yo, hey, the blood's gone. The fight's over. We're not fighting anymore.
Aye, the fight's over, laddie. Calm yourself.
Gurney, is that you?
Yeah, it's Gurney Abel right here in the flesh. I have my
Gurney,
me.
could you
Fine,
just
right?
go? You could, the strap on my neck. Just pull the strap.
Pull the strap? What are you talking about?
Just pull the strap.
Okay, I'm gonna pull the strap. I follow his instructions.
If he farts, I swear to God.
Alright.
Are you calm?
Okay. I'm sorry.
No, Felix. Put
Just-
the weapon. Put it down. You don't need it right now.
It's okay. I put it back on my back or whatever where I keep it.
You see, that's
It's okay.
That's good.
It's fine. I did just take one damage from pulling down that strap, but it's fine.
What are you trying to summon?
I'm basically just making like something, for lack of a better term, I'm making like a little trash doll that can then just kind of look around the
Trash
corner.
doll.
And I'm putting the 2 in perception so that it can kind of like scout ahead of us.
Okay.
And
Your potato
look around
head.
corners.
You
It's like
you guys from where
exactly.
from where you are, you can actually hear a sound, kind of like there's a lot of noise. There is bells tolling somewhere in the city. There are still kind of screams and crashes and the sound of fire. There's a lot of noises that are going on, but they're all in the distance. The thing that cuts through, that is closest to you, and it's not like near direct line of sight, it seems to be somewhere nearby. You can hear like a loud kind of like as if something is being dragged along the cobblestones.
Is this anything like the sounds we heard on our very first night here in the fog?
No, not really.
We haven't heard this sound before, right?
Not particularly, no.
Okay.
It sounds like something.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
It sounds like something heavy being dragged along the
Yeah.
against the cobblestones.
Calabas, what are we
Yes.
doing? We can't linger here. This is bad.
Yes, let's try to, I guess.
Stay in the shadows. Let the garbage pail kid tell us what's out
Perfect.
there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have I like whistle and the little thing looks at me and I point in the direction we hear the
Alright.
dragging from.
Do,
And it salutes me. Starts running.
Yeah.
you don't actually like see through its eyes or anything, do you?
Right, I just want him. No, not at this level, but he can see something with a 2 perception and then come communicate it back to me. Like,
Okay.
Or at least like at least through a series of gestures.
Yeah.
communicate to me.
So the thing will kind of run around the corner and sort of disappear. You guys aren't attempting to sort of peer around the corner or look yourselves.
No.
Okay, no, that's fine. As this thing, you hear this dragging continue. It doesn't seem to stop at all. After probably 30 seconds or so, the little thing will kind of just like clink its way back towards you, and it kind of stands there. And then it's gonna kind of I don't know. It's gonna kind of like try to think what it would do.
Give it like little like French fry fingers.
No, it probably doesn't. It probably
no.
isn't that articulated.
No, I picture it like basically like Gumby but made out of trash.
Yeah. It. We'll say that it'll kind of grab something like a piece of wood or something. And like by a long kind of splinter, it just kind of like begins walking away from you, kind of dragging this piece of wood behind it.
And I say to it, should we follow it, or should we run away from it?
It doesn't really have the ability to answer that question.
Just turns me and shrugs. Alright, I crush it with my foot, and then I say, alright, let's go.
Thank you.
Is the bridge in the direction of the dragging?
Mr. Meeseeks.
So you guys hit around the corner. Basically, there's sort of a fairly main street that kind of opens up into a big sort of open area in front of this giant archway with these huge doors that's gonna lead you to the bridge.
Oof. The doors are open though, right?
You don't know. You haven't really looked.
Jesus. Oh god. Alright, well, if they were open, I'd say let's go out in the open and go for it, but if going up to those doors and being locked puts us right in front of this whatever it is out there, I'm guessing that splinter was a weapon that little the little garbage boy was holding.
Okay, listen, we can do this one of two ways. We can either try to take whatever is out there down. I'm assuming it's bad. That's up to you guys. Or I can try. I can try something. I'm gonna be honest, guys. This thing, and he sort of opens up and shows you his fistula, his little scabby little hole. And he says, "This is pretty new, but it can do some things." So
we've seen.
I think what we can do is, if you're comfortable with it, I can make things very dark.
How does that open the door?
Do we have to crawl inside your belly hole?
No, God,
We all fit in there.
Okay, then I'm in.
Okay.
Well, what if we wait and let whatever it is out there open the gate for us?
Doesn't it sound like that thing's just sort of like continuously dragging something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. It sounds like something heavy is being kind of dragged against the cobblestones.
All right. Is there a way to like move around it, or do we have to go straight through this thing? Is it on the same street that we're going down?
It seems to be in vaguely the same direction. Yeah.
Okay.
It's moving, so you don't know. You could possibly wait. You could possibly try and find an alternate way.
I'm just going to peek around the corner and see what we've got.
Okay. You can see it's a decent distance away from you, probably about half a football field or so. You can see what appears to be a man, but he's a bit taller, lankier than most of the men you've seen, wearing what looks like kind of a heavy kind of hat or something on his head, very wide brim, and a kind of a tattered black coat. And you hear the sound. He appears to be his arm is kind of out behind him as he takes slow, plodding steps, dragging what appears to be a very large wooden coffin by a chain.
Okay.
He's just.
Does he
That's
have
gonna
a
be it.
face?
You can't see it from where you are.
Do we recognize that kind of garb at all?
The kind of
He's a
what?
creepy man with a coffin.
The clothes he's wearing, the hat, the cloak.
He's not
He's
wearing.
very well dressed.
He's not wearing a cloak. He's wearing. They look fairly common. I mean, you've seen a lot of citizens out in outfits like this. He could just be a person who has been tainted. He could be someone who is transformed into something. He could just be, I don't know.
There's a lot of coffins on the side of the road, so maybe this guy is just doing his job. He just works here. I'm starting to feel a little less afraid of him now that
Well, listen, here's what we can do. We can try to communicate, which kind of works. Try to see if he's still crazy. If he is, I can just make it dark around him. I can at least put him in a dark place with this thing right here.
Yeah, okay. What if you just go out there? Yeah. Oh, okay, run away. I thought we were gonna.
I mean, if you want to kill people
we'll
now,
sneak up behind him and then get him from behind. But
so basically, what I'm telling you guys is, I can cast the Darkness Bane for or boon for 25 feet at the max power level, but he could just sort of resist it, maybe.
Okay. Doesn't a doctor, you can whip up some maybe some fireworks spells. What if you blind him and then he does a bunch of sound blasts? I think wouldn't know what way is what, and we could just run to the gate, smash it if we have to, pick the lock. Just
sure. I can render him immobile too if we have to.
Okay.
Okay. So if one of the things fails, we've got 2 backups, and that's good. It's pretty good odds.
Step 1, we establish communication. Step 2, if step 1 fails, I make it dark time.
I can, if need be, I can make it silent as well, so he can't hear us in any way.
Actually, I don't want to stir up any more tension than we need. That could work as well in our favor.
Yeah. Okay.
If all that fails, we keep moving and get to that bridge.
Yeah, I agree.
Doctor, you go as fast as you can, because you're going to be the one that gets us through there if it's blocked, all right?
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go first. Friendly faces, everyone. And Gurney steps out from around the corner, and he tries to appear as jovial as he can. And sort of raises his hand and waves at the figure. He says, "Hello there."
The man is kind of slow, kind of ponderous, plodding steps under his hat. He's a decent distance away from you, and you just hear as he continues kind of dragging this coffin. And as you kind of wave, or as you shout, he kind of just stops in his tracks. The chain just going limp, kind of clinking against the cobblestone. And as he does, he's just going to... As he does, he slowly kind of turns towards you, still face obscured by this large brim hat, and he just keeps taking starts taking faster and faster steps towards you, as you see him kind of grab the chain with both hands, as he does, and he's getting closer, he's covering the distance.
Okay, in that case, Gurney immediately goes, "Okay, you're busy. See you later." And I cast darkness on him for about 15 feet around him.
Do me a favor. Roll me an agility check.
Ooh, I have 0 in that.
As he does that as well, I'm going to use my blood magic. I'm gonna make the blood swell in his ears, so basically all sound that he would have heard is suppressed.
Okay. Oh, he is fucking. He's got a lot of.
I rolled a 9.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's gonna crush that. As you he's covering the distance for you, kind of begin sort of conjuring your darkness. He's actually going to sort of as his pace picks up, he's going to grab the chain with both hands and just and actually swing the this coffin over his head, and it's going to slam down right. What's your evasion?
My evasion. You mean my guard, right?
Oh, that's right. Wrong book. Yeah, it's
15.
Okay. You just managed to kind of to throw yourself backwards as this thing smashes into the ground, like this coffin kind of smashes into the ground, and it's gonna kind of catch just one of your feet, like right in the impact as you feel the pain. You were unfortunately you were not quick enough to get your thing off above him.
My toe.
And you guys hear this loud kind of this, and followed by probably a pained scream, as that is going on. What do you guys want to do?
I immediately stop darkness, and I immediately go run, 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 run.
All right, I'm gonna spit some pull a cork off this little thing, and then roll it down the aisle. And it's like just a little bottle that rolls all the way down. And then when it gets to him, it explodes and becomes like aircraft foam. It just kind of like renders them immobile. Hopefully.
Oh, you're doing immobile?
That's why you can't chase us, right?
Oh.
All right, hold on 1 second.
I know what I want to do.
Wait, so did you succeed in blinding him first, or did that fail?
That I wasn't fast enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could see Gurney starting to twirl the smoke around his fingers, getting ready to collect it up and blast it at the guy, but he's faster than he looks.
Yeah. This guy's once he gets up to you, you realize he's actually tall, way taller than you too. He's probably a good 7 feet tall. And all right, so you are going to sort of throw out your sort of foaming thing. That is going to be 20 versus his evasion, which is going to be enough. He's kind of pulling on this chain to get his coffin back. You can see it's kind of broken and splintered. You smash this thing on the ground, and he is going to. All right, so that's just gonna make him immobile, correct?
Yes.
All right, yeah. He it kind of begins crystallizing and hardening around his legs as he struggles against it. As his arms are still free as he kind of drags this coffin towards him and kind of looks around as you guys are all running around from in the corner. What do you guys? What do the rest of you want to do?
You're muted, then.
Yeah, I muted you before.
I would like to try to rust and break the chains around the coffin.
Okay.
Okay,
So I'm gonna try to use disarm.
All right. I'm gonna. Yeah, you can easily kind of you kind of grab the chain, as the coffin's being dragged away, you kind of grab the chain, and as you do, you just kind of take a deep breath, and you sort of exhale, letting that kind of corruption that is in your body flow through you, and as it does, it begins kind of creeping up the chains, and as in your hand, you feel it kind of turning to powder, as it just, and as he yanks the chain, the coffin again, the chain is just gonna go ching, and kind of whip off. He put a lot of strength into it, so it's whoosh, backwards. You hear it kind of smashing against the cobblestones, but the coffin itself is not being dragged. Doctor, did you want to attempt to run to him, past him?
I'm just gonna do whatever the group whatever the group's doing.
Okay.
I just wanted to keep him from chasing us.
All right. So he just has
a
motion to everybody to just go.
Yeah, charge the gate.
Right. Yeah.
I'll charge the
All right.
gate. I went immediately there while they were stopped.
He is going.
Yeah.
All right. If you guys are running, he is gonna make. He is just going to make one swing, and it's going to be at the doctor with this chain. This is going to be considerably less accurate than his other swing, but he's still going to make an attack as you're running by. It's a 15 against your guard.
Ooh, that'll probably do it.
Against the doctor.
You're nimble, right?
Yeah, that got me. 15
Okay.
is my guard.
Okay, so it doesn't really like damage you that much. It just kind of like smacks you in the back, like it's gonna kind of like leave a pained welt as you just kind of stumble forward a bit as you continue rushing. You guys sprint past him, and as you see these large kind of looming gates open, you can see that they seem to have been wedged open just a bit as you are kind of running over towards the gate. You guys also hear. As you kind of like turn back just to see if you see him kind of like attempting to pull his leg, you also seem to notice that just sort of beyond him, between the buildings, you're not really sure, but for a split second you thought that you saw this kind of thick white fog.
Son of a bitch!
You guys make your way through the gates. As you squeeze through, there's there's like a coffin wedged between them as they were tried to close. And as you squeeze your way through, you see it is basically just you're kind of standing atop this platform. You've been kind of traveling uphill a little bit for a while now, and as you stand there, let me just change this back to.
I could smash these coffins to shut the gate behind us if we need to.
You can if you want.
That guy's still coming, yeah.
Okay. You kind of like.
There's a shred of doubt that he's gonna make it out of that foam. Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of shove the kind of broken wood out of the way, and the gate just comes to a close. And finally, you guys are standing on this platform. You can see sort of looming ahead of you is this giant stone bridge. It must be like 40 feet across and descend down into the river below. It's just the bridge that leads to the cathedral ward. Ahead of you, across the bridge, you can see sort of the rising spires of the cathedrals that just soar high into the night sky. The bridge itself seems to be decorated in a way some of you are familiar with, some of you more than others. There's like, aside from the sort of Gothic wainscoting and architecture notes that sort of accentuate this part of town, you will also notice that the bridge itself and the streets leading to it are just full of statuary. Not really, they're kind of placed very haphazardly. It seems almost as if whoever decorated, whoever put these here was less trying to create any kind of symmetry or design, and more just like you Felix, you've kind of grown up sort of near and around these. The statues that the church favors are eerily realistic. They are usually statues of people kind of kneeled in prayer with their arms kind of outstretched to the heavens, their bodies draped in cloth so that all their features are obscured. And there must be dozens of these just lining the bridge in clumps, standing by themselves.
I like these
It's
sculptures.
comforting to be home. At least a bit.
Gurney his lips get really tight and he just keeps walking.
I start like tapping him with my cane as I walk past each one.
Okay.
I keep glancing back. I keep expecting him to just come around and just bash through the gate.
You don't.
Well, maybe we could do a brisk jog. Maybe we'll do
Yeah,
one
let's-
walk. Let's just kind of jog it. Yeah. I don't like the openness on this bridge. We're very vulnerable. Maybe we should.
Agreed.
Do we hear bells
Let's
coming
later,
from the
please.
cathedral ward?
There are definitely bells tolling from somewhere within there. Yeah. And the
Let's head
only
towards them now.
as you kind of make your way across, the first thing that kind of comes to mind, Felix, is with everything that's happened, you haven't been here you haven't been to the church in a while, but you remember, like, you're kind of, a thought crosses your mind as you wonder what happened to the church's guardians, and you're making your way across this bridge, you're just kind of looking down into the darkness below, and as the moon kind of looms overhead, you kind of see ahead of you there's a fairly dark shape that is sitting probably at the end of the bridge, and it's a large dark shape. You can just barely make out its features, but as you kind of approach, it seems to be something large that is draped in this dirty, tattered white cloth.
Gertie gets behind Felix and Ulrich immediately.
Any of you church-going folk know what that is?
You say yes.
Good question. Do I know what that is?
The cloth is definitely that of the what's it called? Of the church. It is the kind favored by them. You never saw them yourself, but you heard rumors that of the people that people and things that kind of succumbed to the corruption and to the taint, those within the church were affected the most and were changed the most. One of the things that you remember hearing about was the church giants. Gigantic, pale figures that the white church used to protect its most valuable secrets.
I think they're church giants. They're not good. They're not to be trifled with. They protect the church. We as long as we mean the church no harm, we should just go around if we could.
We'll see if it's church harm.
Well, you guys know this place better than I do. You're in charge here. I'm not getting near that thing.
Right. A man of science. Oh, God.
Well, I do believe in bringing justice, but giants, I am only one man with one god.
We're only here looking for the red lantern. Let's try to get around it. I try to look for any way around it, any alleyway.
You're on a bridge.
I'm on a bridge.
He's in the center of the bridge up there.
You guys are on the bridge. I mean, there's really nowhere else to go. He's about, you guys have started kind of crossing. He's probably, this giant shape is probably about 3/4 of the way across.
I start to walk forward ahead of the others, and I start to pray as I walk towards this
okay.
giant.
As you kind of make your way across, you actually kind of begin to hear these faint sobbing sounds. Not one, but multiple. As you kind of you continue to kind of mutter holy words and prayers to the beings, the angels of the White Church, but you notice that some of these statues are not actually statues. They are actually they seem to be. They seem to sound like the statues are all of women, elderly, younger women, some various ages, and you see that there appear to be women draped in similar heavy gray cloth that obscures all features, as they're just kind of kneeling on the ground, sobbing, but kneeling almost as if in prayer to something. And you can just see there must be 15 of them. They're kind of scattered around.
Lord, do not tempt me.
Tempt you to kill or tempt you to do something else?
Can I approach one that's nearest to me, and I attempt to look closer at it, but not too close, not touching it, but
it appears you can hear sort of the faint sobs of a woman. You can just make out the arms that are kind of reaching out from under the cloth. They are very thin and frail. emaciated almost, very, very pale, kind of almost colorless skin, as this woman just appears to be kneeling, head kind of down to the paving stones, draped in this dark cloth, like gray cloth that kind of scatters around her. She's just kind of rocking gently back and forth. She doesn't seem to take any notice of you.
These women are beyond our help, son. I say we make a break for it.
Don't touch it. Like, leave it. Let's just try to get.
It is a sin to touch women, boy. I don't have my sword.
It seems like the dream, but this is not a dream that I know. We should keep going. I continue walking forward, and I continue praying.
Okay. How far across the bridge would you like to get?
I'm going to continue slowly walking forward, and if, yeah.
Are there any of these statues
As far as I seem
beyond
to be able to.
the giant?
I mean,
Where?
Do they go beyond him on each side?
You are a church hunter, or a church kind of warrior, so you know that they kind of fill the entire district pretty much.
Okay.
Kind of tap Ulrich, and I'm like, Ulrich, is it gonna attack us or not?
Depends on the sins of your father, boy.
Well, I never knew my father, so I guess we'll have to
then
wait
he was
and
a
see.
sinner. As good as that.
Oh, great!
Actually, I don't know. I made all that up right now. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I just got so
like it.
excited. Do I know anything about the giants? Like, have I heard of this kind of stuff?
You've never seen one. They were something you assume was kind of either prayed to life or concocted in the bowels of the church as they kind of rose to power. As your best guess would be that they came into existence sometime after the split with with the academy, as a way to kind of protect their knowledge.
Okay.
All right, the Lord might have just given me an idea, boys.
Go ahead.
A little. If anybody's read the scroll Star Wars, but if we pretend that you are prisoners and we are bringing you back for the church's judgment, we flee to this giant.
You're kind of making your way across the bridge very slowly, step after step, as you the sobs kind of fill the air around you. Your head down in reverence as you just kind of mutter these instinctual words. Honestly, some of them seem to come not really from memory or from consciousness. They just seem to sort of float from you. And as you step towards the end of the bridge, more slowly, this giant figure in white seems to loom above you. And as you peer forward, you realize that this thing is not standing, it's not sitting, it appears to be lying on the ground. You can just make out where the fabric sort of opens, this large canvas opens where its face would be. There's a large, much larger than would fit on any human, wide-brimmed cloth hat that seems to be sort of tumbled off to the side.
So this is the creature or whatever, the guardian, the giant, it's lying down. And does it seem to be breathing or conscious in any way?
You don't hear any sound of breath. You approach it, and you see sort of as you step around, you see the kind of blank, white, expressionless mask that is its face. You know you see the face is just a mask of expressionless metal.
At this point, Gurney starts like not running, but he's moving rather swiftly to get to Felix. He's like, Felix, you're way too far ahead. And I sort of noticed that it's not, trying to crush him. So I'm like, is it dead?
Can I use my blood sense any blood flowing through its veins?
Nice.
If it's alive.
You don't sense a heartbeat. Its skin is pale and blue. Its face is a mask of metal that looks like it has been sort of riveted into this giant skull. Its body is draped in white cloth, and its form is large, bigger than seems possible, but still emaciated. You can see the ribs, you can see the sort of sunken stomach. It looks like if this thing was standing, it would look like sort of a giant walking corpse.
Yeah.
You see Gurney sort of just stare at it, and he like puts his hands in like one of his pockets, and he just starts like fiddling with his like coat and just staring. He's just
I don't want to cut off a piece of cloth from it for some reason.
Was
by Cade.
guardian.
Did the church make this?
It used to be a
Was
member
this
of the
before?
church. It was. This is after. This is
Thank
from
goodness.
corruption. It turns them into this. It turns them into something, a creature that is. Its only purpose is to protect the church. They're powerful. I've never seen one before alive, let alone. If this creature was killed, I think we should be very afraid of whatever did it.
Well, then let's get off this bridge. There are bells ringing. We can go see somebody about it, maybe.
For sure.
Let's make haste. Let's hope he's not guarding anymore.
As you guys continue past this giant figure.
Can I cut off a piece of its cloth too? I don't know. Is that weird?
I sort of like slap Ulrich, and I'm like, Ulrich, this thing, it's dead. Like, leave it be, okay? And then as he walks away, I try to melt the mask off with my rock power and see what's underneath.
You'd need to concentrate pretty hard and actually physically make contact with it to melt it off.
You said like it was like screwed in?
It appears to be like riveted in, yeah.
Once I realize it's like tough stuff, I'm like, only Ulrich's sword was this tough. I walk away.
So you guys continue, and as you approach, there is a large sort of arcing gate, with what's the word? With a like no, a large kind of trellis gate, a portcullis. That's it. That appears to be raised, opening the way into the cathedral ward. And as you make your way in, again, you're just sort of walking down these wide open streets that on every corner and every available space seems to be placed more of these statues. They're kind of outstretched arms, or they're upright pose, hands clutched to their chest, all in prayer and reverence of something. Cloth draping over all of them. Again, incredible craftsmanship that has gone into all of these, as each of them seems to be different and frighteningly realistic, as they all kind of catch the light and kind of catch your attention as you move around. Yes.
Gurney would sort of like to pat Ulrich on the shoulder, and he's like, "Okay, Dr. Calabas, Felix, sort of keep an eye out. I'm gonna talk with Ulrich. I need to figure out where the rear end chapel is. You've been here, right?" As I sort of try to chat up Ulrich, I sort of pull him aside, and you see Gurney's expression get really dark, and he makes sure that your back is to the other guys, and he says, "Ulrich, okay, so you're a church guy, right?
Aye.
Okay, can you tell me what the fuck is wrong with Felix?"
Oh, I don't know.
What
My
did
church
what did you
different
people
than
do?
this. I don't know what happened in this church. Ungodly it is now.
Is it the blood? I mean,
I could, does Ulrich know anything maybe of research that he knows about this area and that kind of stuff? As far as what, the blood, anything about I guess, any relation you could make with Felix in relation to, the church and the blood?
Felix,
obsession.
Felix, the best you can guess, he doesn't dress like the church folk that you. I mean, he very similar, but he seems to be to break a little bit with that. So, your best guess is he's probably not. He's probably either not part of the church officially, or he's or he's just not wearing a lot of their official kind of colors. And the church does have official kind of sets of clothing that are worn by the people that went out to do the healing, by the people that it contracted as hunters, those kind of things. And he doesn't really appear to be wearing those so much as he's wearing colors and things like that. That's the best you can gather. You don't really know. I mean, he could just be not wanting to wear all white.
Okay, I'll, that Felix boy, I don't know if he is a man of the church or a man of his own lust for blood.
He talks, at least when he's not fighting, like a priest, I'd say, or like a choir boy. Like Ulrich, he almost bit my face off earlier. At least he was that close to do it. Just
What is it now?
No, there's something wrong with him, and I'm just worried is all, because he's really good at what he does. But if he gets too crazy, can you just keep an eye on him, please?
Well, don't worry. If any of you get out of line, the Lord will bring justice to you. But
Okay.
his sins might not be any greater than your own.
Well, listen, that's all I wanted to say, because I'm worried about him, that's all.
Yeah, he did lose a little control. I'll keep an eyes on him now.
I'd appreciate that. Okay, thank
Keep an
you!
eye on the doctor then. Make sure he's not taking any of his own medicine.
Okay, come on, he's slow enough as it is. He won't get too far out of trouble, trust me.
Aye, alright. Deal's a deal. In
Anyways,
front of gods.
Gertie sort of points out different buildings and things he's sort of just trying to extend the conversation. Does he know where Rear End Chapel might be?
You can generally find it from the directions that you were given. You have to sort of descend into the cathedral ward a little bit, and as you sort of make your way through these kind of twisting chapel spires and buildings, kind of healing clinics and other buildings, you see that there is this actual solid squat stone building, not nearly as soaring high as the other chapels, but it seems to be a fairly small building with a tower kind of ascending from it, and instantly you Gurney will recognize the door to this building. As you're following your directions, the door to this building catches your eye. It is standard sort of church style architecture with these heavy flagstones in kind of like an archway. They tend to have molded kind of design, stone carvings and designs on them, very Gothic style. However, the bricks that are surrounding this door, aside from being the same kind of Gothic architecture style as the churches around them, seems to have these very, very strange markings that stand out to you. You know that these are generally used, they were used by a lot of the old construction work, the architects of the city, to mark a place that is connected to some portion of the tombs underneath the city.
Gurney like sort of nerds out about this. It's his thing.
So there's catacombs under the city.
Oh yeah, they go way deep. Nicer than the sewers, unless you don't like being cramped.
Oh, I've had enough sewers for one day. Don't make jokes, laddie.
Okay. Kind of liven things up after I almost got crushed with a coffin today. I'm looking out for red light.
There is
We should be looking out for that more, yeah.
you notice that there are these kind of tall, like, arcing windows, and you can just make out sort of a flickering firelight inside. The door itself to this chapel seems to be 2 doors of heavy wood.
All right.
Is this
Not
the
the
one
red
we're looking for?
What's up? Sorry, 2 people.
Is this the church we were looking for? Or?
This, Gurney has sort of led you, based on the directions he was given, to Reardon Chapel.
Seems
Right.
like somebody's home. Perhaps we should knock on the door.
You wanna knock?
Fine. And Gurney just like drums on the door.
All right.
Give it a
Step back,
couple of
step back. This
respectable
is-
taps with the cane.
This might be a better job for a man of the cloth.
As you kind of pound on the door, it goes silent. You wait. You hear nothing.
I asked Felix,
and
is there
then-
like a secret knock or something?
Is there a secret knock?
Did you try that?
Do I know of a secret knock?
No. After probably about a minute, you hear a and then the door, like, you hear cha-chong, and the door slowly begins to creak open.
I step back, give it enough room.
Hello. I've brought these children seeking shelter.
You kind of peer into the doorway as you speak. There doesn't seem to be anyone there opening it.
We'll light a little torch for light.
Okay. You can see that the inside is actually somewhat lit by a few flickering lanterns scattered around.
Are they red lanterns?
One of them is.
Alright, let's close the door behind us. Let's not take too long. God only knows what's out there.
As you close the door behind you, you guys kind of squeeze in. You're sitting in sort of like an antechamber. You know that the actual cathedral itself sort of is. There's like two doors on either side. They're not like, they don't have like actual doors in them. They're just archways. And so you're in the antechamber, and then there's the cathedral beyond.
Now, having been a priest and living in this area, would I know anything about this church, or like,
It doesn't
Or
stand out
what?
to you. It doesn't stand out to you as particularly special.
okay,
You've never really heard of it.
okay.
Gurney tries to wipe his feet because they're covered in gook.
Okay.
I guess we all look down, we see that. My character will see him dusting off his feet and be like, oh, yeah, good idea. Wipes him off on the rug.
Yeah.
Same, I
Everybody
suppose.
starts shimmying.
Spraying deodorant on. Like a deodorizing spray. Right.
Hello? Hello. Is there anyone there? Who has opened this door?
As you kind of look around, you peer through the archway into the chamber beyond. You see it is lit here and there with candles. Most of the pews seem to have either been broken or cleared out. And you hear a kind of a faint. Is that someone? Is someone there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Who's there? I'm a priest, and we have several friends.
Ulrich's looking around disappointed. You call this a place of worship?
It was
surrender.
once. It's still holy ground.
I can't see you very well. You have to step inside. Come on in.
Felix, go on.
Go on, boy.
I nudge him with my cane.
We all push him forward.
Oh.
All right. I slowly step inside. I'm trying to look and see where the voice is coming from.
It seems to be echoing from probably off in the corner, almost immediately to your right. You see there's a kind of a bunch of pots and boxes, and there is a few candles that are on the floor. You see the candles seem to be around, like scattered around what appears to be. You can see kind of a faintly moving, just what looks kind of like a bundle of cloth on the floor.
Are you all right? What's your name, son?
Are you approaching? Or are you saying where you are?
I'm like cautiously. I've taken a couple steps forward, but I haven't like next to him.
You see that the kind of whatever it is kind of like turns towards you. You can see this appears to be like there appears to be someone. They're on the ground. You can see their long kind of very, very skinny arms just sort of just kind of like reaching out on the ground. It's almost as if they're kneeling or like prostrated. Dark black kind of or gray cloth over their body and kind of splayed out around them as he says, oh, you how'd you find me? Oh, not to fear. You're well safe here in the chapel. Come on in so I can see you.
Are you okay?
So he's facing down. Is he facing me or like away?
You can see the cloth kind of like just below the cloth. You can make out a face, but it's very dark.
Stand up, boy. Let me see you.
Hands where we can see him.
I can't stand, but I can stay down here, if you don't mind. You look like you could use a safe place to stay. Well, that's what I got here. You're welcome to use it as long as you like.
How long have you been staying here, boy?
Oh, I don't really know. It's
Long enough to stop standing, apparently. He needs help here, and I start like getting like first aid stuff ready.
yeah, kind of like as you kind of walk over, he says, "Oh, there's no need for that, but I do thank you. I'll be fine just as I am."
I'd like to take a deep breath. Does it smell like incense?
Good one.
Around him?
Or just in the
Or
area.
just in general.
Not really.
And we saw one red lantern
We do.
amongst a bunch of other ones. Not like they were even trying to make a signal.
Gurney starts like looking at the ceiling. He's like looking around, and he's like, "How long? I'm sorry. What's your name?"
He says, I'm Oliver.
What are you doing here, Oliver?
He says, well, seeking shelter.
How did you get here?
He says, well, I kind of crawled. It just don't really matter that much, I don't think. How'd you come here? You look like you need a place to stay.
Yeah. Where's everybody else? Are you the only one here?
This is just me.
I start to actually approach him closer, and I'm kneeling down and reaching out my hand to help him. to try and help him stand.
He doesn't really. He does his best to kind of like politely. You don't really know exactly what's under the cloth. He says, I'm just fine where I am. No real use. But you're welcome to make yourselves at home.
Then stay there forever.
He says.
Oh.
No, just give me the signal.
He says, you're welcome to stay here as you like. There's a bit of food and water, I think. If you find anyone out there looking for a safe place, you can just send them here to Reardon Chapel. It'd be good to have company.
Oliver, are there any monsters around by chance? On the streets, I mean.
He says, it says, there are right many church beasts roaming around, feeding on dregs and whatnot. But it's all safe in here.
And why is it safe in here? You don't seem like you can defend yourself. We walked in through the front door.
He says,
Man's got a point.
well, I don't know, but I've been safe here ever since I found the place.
Felix, who unlocked the door?
Which door?
The front door.
Oh, was it locked?
We heard it. The thing made clunk, clunk, clunk.
It unlocked for us and was open.
It did.
Oh, well, that wasn't me.
I step forward and I try and pull his hood off of him, or his cloak, so I can see his face.
Yeah, I'm gonna unsheath my sword. Just in case we're not alone.
You pull the cloth off him. He lets out kind of as you do, you see a very gaunt, dark gray skinned face. His eyes are kind of bloodshot yellow. Very like almost jaundiced. Like his body, his face is emaciated and thin, and from his like he doesn't seem to have any hair. He seems to sort of be withering away, but
Looking at Gollum.
It would be
a little bit worse.
Calibus. Calibus, is this... Calibus, can you determine whether this is tainted blood or not? Or if he's really fucking sick?
Well, I can attempt. I can do I have a restoration balm here that at its most potent capacity can cancel various ill effects of blah blah blah. So
I think he's beyond our help.
Here, try this, and I have this like little like kind of ointment that I squeeze into his mouth.
Do you see what it is? Can you tell what's wrong with him?
Is very sick,
He looks sick.
Can we try asking him what's wrong with you, Oliver?
That's a good idea too.
This is a good doctor.
Let's open the veil.
Should I do would it be like a learning or a logic then? Try to determine.
Logic, I'll say.
Oops, that's perception.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Okay.
21.
This does not appear to be the symptoms or effects of any medical condition that you are aware of. His body may be deteriorating. This could be a sign of corruption. This could just be This could be something else. You're not sure medically how he's alive at all.
So I'm going to reach out. I'm going to try and grab his hand, just hold it, feel his pulse, and sense his blood, and sense if how much corruption or taint is within him.
He is definitely alive.
Okay.
There is some kind of something that is twisted his form and who he, what he is, but it's hard to pin down. He doesn't seem to be as corrupted or in the same way that what's it called, that the
Church beasts.
the monsters and the things that you found are or were.
Okay.
Okay.
Diagnosis.
Yeah. So he doesn't have anything medically wrong with him as far as you can tell, although he looks like he should be dead.
That's a given.
Yeah, and this isn't unlike any medical disease I've ever been exposed to.
Here, maybe I can help. I attempt to use my blood magic or a regeneration spell to try and heal him.
Does she even have legs?
It's mostly hidden by the cloth. I mean, he is kind of struggling to keep himself covered.
Yeah, Gurney sort of like helps him get covered. He's like, guys, he's so far from.
I get down. I hobble down all the way slowly to one knee, and I go, Oliver, you have legs. You can tell me.
He says, well, I did at one point.
What happened to them, Oliver?
It's kind of a long story.
You offered us sanctuary here, so perhaps while we sit here and take your sanctuary, you can tell us your tale.
Yeah,
I kind of give him a little. I give him a little something to relax.
He's just gonna kind of nervously kind of chuckle to himself. He says, "You don't have to worry about me. I'm just glad I can be of use to someone. I ain't never been of use to anyone really. I'm just happy to help."
So I tried to cast regeneration on him to make his to make the good blood inside his body start to regenerate and hopefully heal him.
You can definitely heal him. He doesn't seem to regenerate.
Okay.
He needs meat on his bones. Like, that's not going to be fixed by whatever you guys are doing.
Let's get him some food. I'm hungry as well.
Where was the food that you had?
He kind of gestures with kind of a very creaky kind of long hand. He kind of points. He says, just down that end of the chamber over there.
Okay, thanks. Put your hand down. Thanks. Oh my God. Felix, come on. Let's go find some food.
I'm going to take the boy with us. I'm going to try and lift him up and walk him with us to the food.
Swaddle him.
Yeah.
You can.
I hold up my cane, let him grab it, and I just drag him.
He will, like, rather than he can attempt to sort of drag himself along the floor if you insist on him following you, but he doesn't really take too kindly to being carried.
Okay.
All right, come on.
Right.
Well, come on, bastard.
You can crawl along with us, I suppose.
Crawl on my sword and I'll drag the sword.
I can carry if you like, or you can
Picture like Maggie Simpson.
grab onto my back.
He says,
back a fruit cup. Stay there.
He says, don't worry about me. I'll be fine right here.
Okay.
Well, at least he's got a good attitude about it, right, guys?
This is the sweetest person I've met so far.
I don't trust it.
I love him. I love you, Oliver. Can we get some food now?
Yeah, let's go get some food.
Yeah, let's go walk. All right, I don't know if we should leave him alone, you guys. Does somebody want to stay behind with him?
No, listen, like...
I mean, I could sit and talk to him, just bring him back something. I'd actually like to find out a little more about this area.
Doctor.
Yeah. All right, actually, let's all go.
Okay, so you guys make your way across the chamber, and you find, just like he said, there are a few crates of old provisions. There's a little bit of salted meat. There's a little bit of, kind of dried, very old bread. It's not much, but it'll kind of last you for a little bit. And you kind of have some privacy as in the flickering candlelight, as aside from Oliver, who's off on the other end of the chamber, you are functionally alone in this cathedral.
Well,
I'm gonna make him one of my little garbage dolls to entertain with. While we get down
Okay.
to this.
All right.
it's the best friend he's ever had. All
All right. Grab some of the meat to eat, and I say,
Make
we
him a
should.
pet rock.
Yeah.
I'm still not confident this place is safe. We should look around and find some of that incense.
Agreed.
Great idea.
Actually, Oliver, do you know if there's any of that around?
He says, there, I think there's
I'll be
a
right
jar right over there.
I go grab the jar.
There appears to be like a clay pot. It's about this big, of this kind of. It looks somewhere between tobacco and potpourri.
Ooh.
It smells very pungent.
Ooh.
This is strong stuff. Felix, Ulrich, do you know how you use this? I'm just guessing.
Well, we would need some papers first.
Oh
There should be.
no, not for
There should be
personal
an
use,
incenser.
for warding off beasts.
It's
that sort of
medicinal. Don't worry. That's probably how that guy's.
I mean,
getting
you
along.
if you'd like to,
Oliver.
you're welcome to look in the you're welcome to look in the incense lantern.
Yeah, there
Go
should be
ahead.
a sensor.
The incense lantern has a sort of a metal bowl, and a kind of like a sort of a diffuser kind of tray on top. And basically what it does is kind of
So
there's
it's like
sort
one of those that hang. They're like.
no,
"Ooh."
it's not really. It's like half of one of those inside
Okay.
like a glass lantern.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, do we see anything like? Could I take that red lantern that's on the inside and maybe hang it up on the outside of the door?
Yeah.
At one point.
Yeah, outside.
Yeah. Just because, how would we have known, right?
Yeah, you're welcome to.
Other than yeah. So,
All
okay.
right. Well, listen.
I'll do that while we're munching out and stuff too.
Well, listen, guys. We should probably leave the incense for the group that
Yeah, for
will
the
probably
second
set us
party,
back
yeah.
here.
You guys also, as you're kind of as you're making your way back in the chamber at the far end of the cathedral, sort of a little bit away from where you guys were, you see there appears to be another lantern that is hanging on an iron hook. This one is much more ornate and much more kind of rusted and old than the ones that you have seen around here.
Okay.
I approach it.
Okay.
I pick it up.
It's like hanging on. There's like a stick that comes out of the ground and it's just kind of hanging
it
on
up.
it.
I'm on fire.
Ouch!
No, it's not actually. The lantern isn't actually lit.
Okay.
Right.
Ooh.
I light the lantern
Yeah.
and
Let's
say a
light
prayer.
it up.
All right. As you kind of gather around this and you light, you kind of stick your torch in, and the wick inside this lantern begins to glow, begins to light in kind of a hazy blue flame, and as it does, as the kind of the warmth spreads from this lantern, you feel your eyes clouding over as you sort of kind of settle into that warm feeling. And as the feeling fades and the coldness returns, you find yourself standing. You kind of shake off the feeling. You find yourself standing in a large open space. The same lantern is hanging in front of you, but it appears to be dark around you.
I'm gonna try to light one of my torches. So what?
As
the
you
fuck
as
is
you
happening?
light the torch and bring it over your head and look around, you see familiar stonework. You see broken and battered wooden pews. You see a dais off at the end. You seem to be standing in the cathedral. However, the walls are cracked and bricks are broken out of them. You can see roots and vines have grown up and through some of the stone tiles, as this place appears to be decayed and destroyed.
I just want to say like Calivan or that old man's name.
Callum.
I sense Callum. Yeah, I sense that Callum's mischief in this.
It was just a lantern. It smelled nice, but
I
sleep, right?
I go downstairs to where Oliver was.
He wasn't downstairs. He was across the chamber.
Oh,
You cross the
wherever.
chamber quickly to him. You don't see him.
Oliver. I start like whisper yelling his name.
Oliver?
Oliver.
Callum. Hello. Who's here?
I try to like peek out the door to see if the red lantern is there.
You peek out the door. The red lantern is hanging there, but it like hanging off of its hook, like as if it has been aged, and the hook is sagging. The lantern is cold, and as you look up, the sky is blue and dark, except the moon is large and red.
Red moon versus
Guys,
Go ahead and do me a favor. Go ahead and Gurney, roll me a perception check.
ooh, okay. I'll do that with
Good
my
luck.
0 perception. Hey,
Nice.
Hey.
You as you catch your eye up to the moon and look around, you are standing in a very similar version of the cathedral ward, but it seems to be damaged. The buildings are sort of twisted. Some of them sit at odd angles, and as this very, very strange, almost discordant here. No, I don't have it. Okay. As this very kind of strange, discordant bell chiming begins to toll, boom, 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 from somewhere in the distance. You see the wind begin to pick up, and as you look around, you hear kind of a strange like a sound as if something is kind of heavy is shuffling along the ground. Multiple sounds actually. There's quite a few of them, and you can see kind of walking off past where, like down the street from where you are, you see a large humanoid figure in what appears to be sort of distended and misshapen metal armor, dragging a very large axe, is just kind of like walking down the street.
do I recognize this as the giant?
It's not as big as the giant. You almost instantly recognize pieces of the armor, specifically the crest on the back. The armor is like a twisted and very strange form of that of the city's knights. They're the order of the Queen's Knights, and it is just carrying this giant sort of executioner's axe. As it makes its way down the street, you can hear other noises coming up from other parts of town. It doesn't appear to be moving towards you, but it is definitely moving in like past you.
Okay, I try not to like move at all. I try to like very slowly retreat back inside.
Okay.
And I just like turn around and I try to like push the door closed as slowly as I can, while like shushing my lips like this.
What did you see?
It's a big thing. It's probably a beast, I guess. It was.
It's like we're still in Palemoor.
The church's
but
night.
it's different.
Listen. It's walking past. Just be quiet for a moment. And I
It's
try
like
to
a
like
lantern.
make sure the door is closed.
Mm-hmm.
quiet we shall be then.
You give it a minute, another minute. You can hear sort of the echoing footsteps and scraping sound of metal as it grows more and more distant outside.
Finally, we caught a break, you guys.
It was huge. That thing was huge. It was wearing like the garment, the raiment, the church knights, I guess.
The Queen's Guard.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Queen's Guards, you say?
No one was safe from corruption. This is
So it's
strange experience.
Doctor, do you know what that the lantern did? Or what happened?
I'm trying to figure that out right now. And like you see him like kind of talking to himself, doing calculations and stuff. Like maybe the smoke, maybe it was the lantern had the. But then we woke here, and the moon is. You see him kind of like stroking, and
This isn't just a bad high. This is.
I'd be lying if I said this is the first time something like this has happened.
Perhaps the
However, this is
incense.
the most intense.
The incense is supposed to ward off demons and darkness. Perhaps there was something manipulating our minds before we lit the lantern, and now our minds are clear.
Maybe a little.
That's an
legless
interesting
boy.
idea.
Look, I'm just worried about. You know who.
Perhaps, what if we try to turn the lantern back off?
Is there any scent coming from this lantern? Yeah, I say we turn it off, but are we smelling anything from it? Like any incense?
From the blue lantern?
Yeah.
Not really. It's definitely not the pungent incense scent. It actually seems like sort of almost a warm kind of calming scent.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, dreaming's waking. I don't know what to believe. I'm for the crazy boy's idea. Perhaps we should put out the lantern.
Put it out, because there's a big red moon outside. It's creeping me the fuck out.
I'd rather be in code yellow than code red.
The lantern that you guys lit is actually it's not lit anymore. It's sitting in front of you cold.
I try to light it again.
You want to relight it?
Yeah.
Okay. As you guys kind of gather around, you kind of bring your torch to the lantern.
Boys.
And as you do, the kind of the blue glow kind of begins emanating from it, and you feel that familiar kind of warm sensation as your head kind of nods and your vision gets cloudy, and all of a sudden you shake it off, and you're standing back in front of the lantern is cold. You're standing in a lit chamber.
The same chamber we recognized, right?
Oliver, are you there?
He says, "Yes, of course, I'm here. Why?
Did
Do you need me from something?"
Did you see us light the lantern?
He says, yes.
Did we go anywhere?
I just assumed you left.
Gertie takes the lantern and he holds it to his chest.
Yeah. Let's keep that, okay? And then, what if?
You light
What
it with
if-
your explosive beam.
No. What if whatever opened that door the first time was in that or the realm of the
Oh my
lantern?
god.
Right? We couldn't see it with the lantern the first time, but maybe it was in the parallel. I don't know. My God doesn't allow me to think such things, but being around you guys, I don't know.
Hold on. Do you think this goes to the waking dream? Or whatever, that other...
All I know is something invisible opened that door, and then we saw another place.
Listen,
Perhaps.
I'm gonna keep a hold on this thing, in case we need to use it. But let's leave it alone for now, because I'm telling you guys, that Queen's Guard night thing, that was bad.
That sounds like it.
Right. Could we? We should light some incense here, though. Regardless.
I don't think we should. We should send word back to the mother. Actually,
yeah.
Okay.
I want to save that for them because we want this place to be safe.
I agree. Save it for the women and children.
For now,
Alright.
we need to. We found a safe place. Good job, everybody.
Sure.
Now we need to figure out what next to do.
So I'm gonna take out a piece of paper and I'm gonna start writing a note back to the mother lady. I'm gonna create one of my little garbage men. Give it to him and he salutes and
Garbage
tucks it
kid.
under his arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. He starts jogging.
Okay.
This is when my character will put the red lantern outside then.
Yeah, okay, you already did that, actually. You
Oh,
already
okay,
hung
sure.
on it. Yeah. So, as you're... Yes, what?
I just had another thought, you guys. As we turned on that lantern, the building seemed to get older. It decayed. The lantern sagged. Is it possible that it might have? I don't want to say it. Could we have traveled through time?
Perhaps it's almost, to me, it seems almost like it's a alternate version, like it's the version that could be if some terrible other thing happened.
Well, here's the question. What the fuck is this doing in your church? Why is
And
this
why?
here?
I guess the why is a big.
Yeah, let's show that lantern to Oliver.
Oliver, how long has this been here?
Yeah,
Answer truthfully.
he says, I don't really know. Maybe, probably since I got here, I never really noticed.
We need to find another priest, someone who knows what this is.
Oh, there's, well, there was a well, you probably want to go to the Grand Cathedral for that.
Yes,
where
that's
is that?
exactly where we need to go.
Well, it's the biggest cathedral.
The Great Cathedral?
The Grand Cathedral, yeah.
The Grand Cathedral.
As you're talking, you guys hear a and a loud as something seems to kind of smash into the cobblestones, and then like you hear it kind of smashing, it's like running its way down the street. Whoever is sort of near a window, you would probably, as you this loud kind of roar, you would probably see a dark shape kind of like come arcing downwards, past the window, and kind of like land on the cobblestone nearby the church, and then start running. The incense is already outside.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Light more. Inhale it. Blow smoke rings of incense at them.
Burn the whole place down.
Shit, yeah.
I hope it's not chasing my garbage pail, man. Like the little garbage pail, dude.
So what do you guys want to do?
Actually,
You guys are want
was it going in the same direction as the garbage pail kid?
no.
Okay.
As long as he's safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess.
What
I mean,
are we
if it's
doing?
not. Is it actively continuing to try to get in, or does it sound like
It wasn't trying to
place
get in.
kept running?
It wasn't trying to get in. It ran past.
Yeah, I'll
It was
look out
kinda
the window.
random.
I'll look out the window at it.
As you run out the window, you see kind of like it's already down the street, so you just managed to see this kind of hunched over dark figure. It appears to be dragging something in its long kind of outstretched hand. It seems to be dragging sort of the pale body of a much smaller person. As it kind of looks around, you can see it's actually wearing a long, a black wide-brimmed hat as it swings down around the corner. And as it does, you actually kind of see another dark shape kind of arc through the air above you, land with a tumble nearby, and then just continue running. The only thing you see is this kind of billowing cape behind it, as appears to be chasing the first figure.
Alright, then Ulrich's like, did that fella with the coffin dragging it, did he have a big black brimmed hat?
Oh yeah.
His was slightly different.
It was slightly different, so I'm not getting the same kind of read on this new.
No, this
new
one
character.
is a different hat.
Okay.
Yeah.
This goddamn city. Who knows what's
It's
going on
nice.
there? Apparently there's other mischief going on.
Screw the church, we need to find a haberdashery.
So, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to head to the Grand Cathedral? Do you want to
Were those characters running in the direction of the Grand Cathedral, or away from it?
possibly? It's hard
What
to
do
tell.
I know of the Grand Cathedral?
The Grand
Anything?
Cathedral is a huge edifice. It's where it's for all intents and purposes the source of the blood healing. And it is where, if your assumptions are correct, the greatest secrets of the church lie.
And then really quick before we leave those guys too much, did I get the impression that one was chasing the other one?
A little bit.
The second one okay, the black cape versus the black hat, okay.
They appear to have their own business, and they're keeping each other occupied. Less eyes
Perhaps the
on us.
Night Watch.
Actually, yeah, okay. Night Watch.
So I know of what the church's purpose is. Have I ever been there before?
Not in a long time.
Well, listen, we can go to the Grand Cathedral and try to get some answers, because not only can we ask about the lantern that we now have, we came here to find out what happened to us, what the transfusion was all about.
We have a lot of questions that need be answering.
If there's any answers, they'll be at the Grand Cathedral.
You must be right.
I would say let's head out at first light, but I don't think the night's ending anytime soon.
All right, well, Oliver, we're sending some folks over. Can you give them like a warm welcome, like show them around and stuff?
Just be
he says,
yourself. I'm
"Oh."
sure that'll
Just be yourself.
We're gonna have
Probably,
guests.
yeah. Yes.
I'll do what I can to take care of them.
and just
And actually, I think you can benefit from each other's company, quite honestly.
yeah. Just maybe wash your sheets once a week at least.
And just don't let anybody light these lamps willy-nilly, because that's...
Yes.
Yeah.
Be careful.
We're taking this one. This is ours.
Definitely.
Something to remember you by, because we're so inspired by you and your
In
strength.
fact, I'm sure I would have the foresight to devise a password system and then written the password in that note.
Ooh,
as a
it's
mother.
good.
Knock.
Yeah, so that when she comes, say to him, don't open the door unless anybody listens to give this
Okay.
Okay.
response.
Right,
Nice.
understood.
This is the best day of my life.
Morty, I mean Oliver.
All right. So you guys want to make your way out of the church, out of the chapel, and towards the Grand Cathedral?
Yeah, is there like
Yeah.
a back exit, or are we going?
You can take a side exit. As you do, you kind of you manage to kind of make your way around.
Well,
Go
go. How old does this lantern seem, the blue one? Is it like a different model than the others?
Yes.
Because right now Gurney's like,
Yes.
Yeah, good idea.
I said it was
Really
very.
good idea.
It was a lot more ornate.
does it look at all anything like he might have come across underground?
Roll me a logic check.
I knew it. I knew I took logic for a reason. I knew I took logic for a reason.
I love how it like highlights it red too. Just like if the 3 wasn't bad enough, it circled in red.
So sad.
No, you don't. This doesn't look like anything you've come. Kind of came any
You got
artifacts you
dumber
came
thinking
across.
about that.
You guys are kind of making your way. You're picking your way through the streets as you navigate these sort of soaring spires, and you can actually sort of hear, as you go. You can kind of hear this. You can hear kind of sounds echoing, like clanging of metal, breaking of stone, echoing from off in the distance. But as you're approaching, you actually see. Turning down some one side alley on your way to the Grand Cathedral, you see another red lantern hanging outside of a window.
God, so we could use some good news. Let's make for it.
As you kind of rush over, you see this appears to be a kind of smoking red lantern. It's outside of a window with light inside.
Let's just
The,
gently like knock on the door, like. Duk, 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 duk.
the window is heavily barred with iron, but you hear kind of as you knock. There's a brief pause, and all of a sudden you hear, "Hello, who's there?"
Friends, I'm a priest.
Fellow
and
Red Lantern holders.
We're looking for survivors.
Oh, are you with my father?
I am
How
a
old are
father,
you?
but not your father.
Who is your father?
The voice sounds very much like a very young girl. She says, "Oh, he's one of the watchmen. Goes out at night and keeps people safe. He hasn't been home though. Do you know where he is?"
How long has he been gone for?
"I don't know. He should have been back by now. If you'd like, if you find him, can you tell him to come home? It's very lonely."
Yes.
Let us in, girl, before we're in trouble out here.
What's your name, so I can tell your father?
My name's Amelia.
Amelia. And what's your father's name?
He says, sorry, I was looking for my notes. He says, his name is Ondin. He is.
And does this Ondin wear a big black cape?
He says, "Oh, my mother went out to find him, but she hasn't come back. Do you think they forgot to come home?"
Yeah.
Gurney just, like,
let's talk about that
barely
inside.
Hands like this.
I don't know. They're probably fine, but they might not be able to come back. You should probably come with us, and we can take you to somewhere where you'll be safe and where they could find you again. We can leave a note for them.
My parents told me not to leave the house at night.
Well,
Guys, the night's
there's
not-
nothing but night now. Come with us, girl. We can bring you to a safe place. Otherwise, we'll break down your door and your place won't be so safe. Sorry. God's wrath comes through me.
You just kind of see the light inside just kind of goes out.
Oh no. Gurney sort of like presses himself to the door and says, "Hey, listen, that was Ulrich. I'm very sorry. He's very rude. We've just been doing what your father does. We also keep the streets safe. That's why we have Felix here. He's a priest as well. He keeps us nice and safe."
It's true. I fend off the taint.
Amelia, do you like have any games in there that you like to play?
Let's play.
If she can see in the window, I'd make I'd make a little guy to dance for her in the window and like try to do like funny comedy.
Oh my gosh.
I also push Ulrich back a little bit.
I'm like, we don't have time for puppets and magic, Ray.
Oh, don't be
We
such
need
a.
to save this girl.
Oh. Oh. I mean,
Yeah, I'll be
we're
pushed
just-
back for a
we're
second.
just
but
concerned.
I'm gonna look around, back up and down the alleyway, like I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep her attention. Amelia, listen. How long have you been alone here? A few days, maybe.
Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check.
Okay. I'm the sweetest guy.
Glad it's you doing it.
Yeah.
16.
There's a long silence for probably about a good minute or two. You're not sure anyone's going to answer at all. Finally, you hear faces. I don't really want to talk to you, but if you can find my father and mother, tell them to come home. If not, I'll wait here.
Okay, Amelia. Listen, I'm a cartographer. I know all the streets and all their names, so you can trust me when I say I'm going to find out which street they might have gotten lost on, okay? What's your mother's name, by the way?
Oh, um, uh, she's called Clara.
Clara? That's beautiful.
Yeah. And and I'm a doctor, so if either of your parents are, for some reason, I guess I won't even bring that up.
Yeah, you got the real deal here. You got the Map Man of Palemoor. You have the doctor who lives down the street. You have the priest, and we have a big man named Uther who's going to beat up any monsters that get in our way to save your parents, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You just stay inside.
You're just like, uh-huh.
You just stay inside, and we'll be back soon, okay?
Perhaps you could leave her a little map to the sanctuary.
Yeah, but
Slide it under the door.
just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case, if we don't come back,
Right.
I don't.
and your mom and
She's
dad
safer
don't
in
come back,
there.
we do have another safe place for you. There's a nice man named Oliver there.
He could probably use
Like
your
the
help,
clown.
to be honest.
He looks like a tadpole, but he's really a person, I promise.
Yeah.
Listen, if anything happens, you go to that rear.
Reardon Chapel.
Reardon Chapel.
You go to Reardon Chapel. There's another red lantern there. Okay, so if anything happens, you go there.
Yes, any place with
Trust
a
me when
red
I say
line.
this. We're going to try to find your mom and your dad.
And if we find that they're sinners, God help them.
Oh, Ulrich's quite the jokester.
Just
Doesn't
yes,
quite
joke.
understand. It.
Felix,
Don't.
come on, help me here.
You're safe where you are now, but if you do get too scared and they haven't come back, and you run out of food or need any help, then that's the place to go. Okay.
God is not a joke, child.
But you are.
God.
All right.
The gods will protect you.
Okay. Bye. And I sort of like clench my teeth to all of you. I'm like, this sucks so much. Where are we supposed to? I like walk us away. I'm like, where are we supposed to find our parents? The ward is huge.
If you ask me, I think her father was the weird thing you saw.
Yes.
That lantern world dragging that axe.
Well, he's a watcher, isn't he? He hunts monsters. So, wasn't there another one chasing him?
Yes, I did see.
Ah, true.
I don't know if it was a Night's Watch cloak that I saw.
Did it look like a man?
They were anthropomorphic, so to say.
Okay, well, listen, I don't know if this is our priority right now.
I agree. We have to get to the
We do.
cathedral.
Greater questions need answering.
Look, here's what we can do. We have so many questions for the cathedral. One of them can be if a watch knight or whoever named Ondin is around. If he's still alive. They know.
Right.
I think we've done all we
Most
can.
do.
Yeah.
At the very
I
least,
don't blame her for not answering. She's a good kid.
So
you put her through the brakes. You made sure she followed the rules.
you guys want to continue on your path towards the cathedral? As you do,
Yeah.
you guys are kind of taking less conspicuous streets as you continue down sort of the narrow alleyways, and as you do, you sort of emerge eventually after a while of traveling through these twisting spires, the tolling bell, kind of continuing to sound, and the familiar kind of screams and noises that ring through the district continue on into the night as the large looming moon overhead shines. Eventually, you find your way to a platform that seems to overlook a small... It seems to sort of be a street with kind of a railing, looking down into a little plaza with a kind of a large monument to it. Gurney and Felix would probably know this monument. It is supposedly the ancient burial site, or monument to the burial site of the first angel or the first godlike that the church ever made communication with. You don't really know much about it. It was never really a particularly fond area of study. It's more just a landmark than anything else. There seems to be a graveyard that is cropped up around it, and as you kind of approach this railing and look down, the moonlight shining into this plaza, you can see a large figure is kind of like leaning over some, and you see him kind of like, you hear kind of the crunching and this tearing sounds as this creature appears to be like using its teeth to kind of tear into the flesh of a corpse. It's probably about 30 feet below you. And as you're sort of just standing there, who's in front? Who's like the furthest
I'll
ahead?
step out in front.
Okay.
Or everyone will step back one pace, and I'll just unsheath.
As you kind of step forward and unsheath your sword, you kind of are looking down, ready to do something, when you feel a very cold sensation press against your neck, and you glance your eyes down, and there is a long blade pressed against your neck, and you follow with your eyes. You kind of follow it to an arm, a black glove holding the end of this blade right to your throat, and a voice from the shadow next to you says, "Oh, I wouldn't do that if I were you. It's my prey. See that you don't become mine too." And that is where we're going to end it for tonight.
Okay.
Every time!
Razor's Edge.
Every time!
Oh, man.
Okay.
So that is it. That is going to be the end of episode 2 of the Writhing Moon Fragments.
You leave us writhing.
Thank you to my players. I hope you guys had a good time. Please let me know. Thank you guys in chat for hanging out, especially. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all the hosts. Let us know what you thought. Did you enjoy the session? What are your thoughts on the settings so far? Anything like that. And especially, I'm going to pose the same question. We're going to go around and talk to my players. If this is your first time here, don't go running away just yet. We've got stuff to discuss. We're gonna hang out and talk about some stuff, and of course we want you sticking around for an awesome raid on another stream channel in a little bit, so don't go anywhere. Hang around, we're not done yet. But first, big thank you to everyone. Let's go around and talk to my players. What did you guys think about the session? Thoughts about the story, where it's going, and anything like that? And let me put on some music, and we will start, of course, with Speedy. Let me.
Oh my god. Everything, like, when you talked after the last session about the idea of like us no longer being sure whether we were awake or dreaming.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't really sure how that was going to work out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because it seemed like pretty obvious, like the line between the dream world and
the
real one still then. But then as soon as we lit that goddamn lantern, suddenly I'm no longer sure of the entire reality around me. And so that part was awesome. I'm loving the suspense at every step of it. I'm loving everyone else trying to figure out what's wrong with my character. Who knows? He's fine. He's fine. There's nothing wrong with him.
Just pull the collar. Just tug.
We're just
pull,
worried.
fine.
Just pull the strap.
Pull it harder.
Everything is fine. Anyways, But yeah, I love everything about where this is going, and I cannot wait to continue playing more.
Oh man, that is, I love to hear it. It's great. You know what? Why don't we do this? We'll also tell everyone a little bit about you, what you get up to on the internet, where they can find you, all that kind of stuff, hooks and plugs, anything you want to plug. Yeah, who are you?
I'm Speedy. You can find me on my channel, Not So Speedruns. You can find me on Twitter as Not So Speedruns. I'm a variety streamer. I do a bunch of different games. Earlier today, I was doing some golf with friends and Jackbox and stuff. I also do D&D once a week. This past week, I instead of doing our normal campaign, we did a special one-shot using a system called Roll for Shoes, which was absolutely ridiculous. It's just a rules light RPG where basically you start off with one skill, do anything level 1. And so it just got very ridiculous and very fun. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
Awesome, man. Absolutely. The link is in chat. Go hit him up there. Also on Twitter is just at Not So Speedruns. So go check him out. Show him some love. What about you, Din? What do you think about today?
Yeah. Well, everything Speedy said, definitely loving the environment, loving the group, loving the atmosphere, and just the storytelling vibe description. Also, like just the overall balance of each session, like the portion of kind of storytelling versus combat versus role playing kind of thing. So really good, really good. Yeah, like so much we could say, but I just love getting down. Yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. Definitely. Yeah.
Awesome. Where can people find you on the internet? What do you get up to?
Yes, I am Din Money online across the board, except for Instagram, Din Money Art. I am a digital artist / game developer. I just started making my own games very recently. I'm planning a Kickstarter right now, making a visual novel dating sim called Faulty Apprentice, which is like a fantasy storytelling comedy. So it's really fun. Definitely check it out. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll see it. All that good stuff. Yeah, check me out. I stream art and that kind of stuff.
Awesome. Yeah,
Cheers.
definitely go check out his art streams. Go hit him up on Twitter. It's just at Din Money, and show him some love. Thank him for hanging out. Next, 4.
Ah! Oh my goodness. It's just, I probably want to just emphasize this very strongly. I'm enjoying Open Legend more as I play it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm so used to, this is the weirdest thing to say, and I want people to quote me for this. I've never had so much fun not rolling dice. It really works, and it does what it says. It really emphasizes storytelling, and when things matter, they matter. I want to thank Astrid for running this for us, because it's legitimately been an extremely fun time. I just love every setup for each scene, because I never know what's going to happen and what you're going to throw at us. Everything is just very unexpected, and I definitely feel the terror that my character is under right now. Again, thanks to my other players, because I'm a true fan of your characters now on sessions. So
yeah, we're getting to know each other.
Yours too.
Awesome, man. Where can shout hooks and plugs? Where can people find you on the internet? What do you get up to?
Well, to anyone who's interested, I stream not so frequently since I'm very new at this, but you can follow my Twitter, which is on the Forefronts. The Twitch stream, however, is on the Forefront. I had to make an S somewhere. In any case, I stream a variety of things. I've only recently gotten Overwatch, so I'm enjoying that, but I do stream various other things. I'm also planning on releasing a podcast relating to Storycraft and all of its intricacies. I'm probably going to work on that tomorrow. I'll hopefully get it out by Monday, but otherwise, that's all I have going right now. I do have a lot more planned in the future, so keep track. You might see something that interests you.
Oh man, I just realized that
Cheers.
Are we actually in the Dungeons and Dragons category? I don't know. I don't know, guys.
Have we been playing, what, Fallout 4 all this time?
Oh no! Guys, I messed up. No, I didn't. No, I'm actually just, I was just trying to go in and see if, yeah, oh man, it didn't put us in the Dungeons and Dragons category. Oh well, we'll fix it later.
That's all right.
Okay,
Still the beginning.
last but not least, Les, what did you think about this week, and what do you, you know, what's going on with you?
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely loving the setting, loving the, I like how I have my role-playing's different, totally different flavors. I have I have this session, which is I'm a player as opposed to a DM, and it's a rules-light system that's focused in a deep, rich setting that's very Lovecraftian, which is right up my alley. It's got the dark horror, it's got some dark, kind of comedic relief in it at the same time, loving all the NPCs. Loving not knowing whether to kill or save each one of them. That's kind of like that's stuff. I'm definitely digging it off. So I'm hoping we get something going with this. As far as where you find me in bars across the region. Yeah, so we do that. Subsoilmusic.com is our website. We got a bunch of new merch. We just got some new hoodies, I think, this week, I believe. So yeah, we'll be playing with our buddies, Three Heads Brewery, coming up soon in 2 weeks for a big event there. I think they released a new beer that night, so that'd be sweet too.
Yeah, cheers.
Maybe I'll try to mail one to each of you, and we can review it on the air.
Yeah, I'll save it for next week. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, give me 1 second because I want to try. I'm gonna try and troubleshoot something real quick. But I do want to. So while I'm doing this, let's go through some announcements real quick. Yes, pause the video. I don't need the video. I'm just trying my donation thing because he's telling me it's giving me an error, and I just want to make sure it works. So announcements. If this is your first time, please hit that follow button. Of course, we love it. We appreciate it. It means everything to us, and it lets you keep up with everything that you can, everything that's happening on the Exploding Dice channel. You get all the games, including Monday night dungeon map making, including what else? Tuesday night Fuzzy Dice talk show, Wednesday drawing streams, and then Saturday and Sunday gaming. Fuck you. Fucking PayPal. Not you people.
Okay.
Fucking PayPal.
I was like, yeah, check us out, and thank you.
No, I got an error on PayPal. I'm like, fuck. So hit that follow button. Come check me out. Yeah, it's fucking okay. I can't log into PayPal right now, so I can't check the donation thing. Let me try it with a credit card. See if that works any better.
You can't take donations because you can't log into PayPal.
I can log into PayPal. It's just it's not working very well. Because my normal PayPal is I don't know, the password isn't working. Here, let me let's try it here. Copy this. Credit card. Yeah. Okay, what else? Yeah, no Jade Regent tomorrow. And also this Tuesday on Fuzzy Dice, I'll be hanging out with Mathis Gaming. It's going to be awesome. You should definitely check that out. We have giveaways! Exclamation point giveaway in the chat will get you the information for all of that stuff, where you can win a brand new player's handbook as well as a set of dice. Everything you need to get started in Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. And so I think that's it. Last but not least, we are going to we're going to raid someone here. All right. Invalid card number. Hold on while I do this.
We're gonna raid PayPal.
We're gonna raid PayPal. I just fucking lost the thing here. Yeah, so we're gonna go find a friend to raid. Who should we do? Who do you think? If I could get to my videos and then
It's always the hardest part of streaming.
I'm gonna go to my Dungeons and Dragons tab and we're gonna pick someone cool. Free stuff. Live. I don't want videos. I want live. I want live. Let's being so fucking laggy here.
Yeah, it's like no one's streaming right now.
Who is live? I think we are going to go say hi to the we're gonna go say hi to the Dungeon Crawls crew. They are fun, and we don't know. I haven't talked to them in a while, but now's a good time. So let's do that right here! Exclamation point raid. Dungeon Crawls. Go hit them up. Just hit that link and make sure they know it's an Exploding Dice raid. We're gonna host them right after this. We are going to we're gonna have a lot of fun with that. So absolutely hit them up. Let them know what the shtick is. And as always, don't let Dice Thulu get his tentacles on you, because he gets very handsy when he does. We'll see you next time, guys. Take care.
Yeah.
Peace.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We did it!
Yes.